Cup T20 ongoing. T20 World Cup is ongoing, and we are live for the next game. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKRsport, Zimbabwe taking on Oman. We already watched on today as Scotland got a comprehensive victory over the Italians. I think it was by 73 runs in the end, if I'm not mistaken. It was a very good result there for Scotland and just powered through the Italians. Yeah, it was 73 runs. Scotland got 207. First team to hit 200 in this World Cup so far. We've got a couple of minnow nations coming up right now with the rankings for these being Zimbabwe in 12th position and Oman is down in 20 position. So you're not expecting anything crazy from these two teams overall in this World Cup, but these games are important to watch just to see the progression and just to see the improvement. That's why it was so good to watch on as the Scottish were able to do what they do, and look, Ben Menenti and Harry Menenti did well for Italy. But look, another game between two minnow nations that hopefully we see some good progress from both of these. I do think Zimbabwe probably gets the job done because I do know a lot more about Zimbabwe than Oman, but you know, it's going to be interesting regardless. Now, Zimbabwe have won the toss and elected to bowl. This is in the Sinhalese Sports Ground in Sri Lanka. Before later on tonight, we do have South Africa taking on Canada, which is going to be an exciting game. I'm actually looking forward to that one later on tonight. That's in about 4 hours' time. But guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get rocking and rolling. So Zimbabwe, their team, Brian Bennett, Tadawanashi, Marmani, Dion Myers, Brendan Taylor, who was the wicketkeeper, Sikandar Raza, who was the captain, Ryan Burl, Tashinga Musikewa, Brad Evans, Wellington Masakadza, Richard Ngarava, and Blessing Muzarabani. That is the Zimbabwe team, with the Omanis being Jatinder Singh, who was the captain, Amir Kaleem, Hamad Mirza, Wasim Ali, Karan Sonavali, Jitan Ramanandi, Vinayak Shukla, who was the wicketkeeper, Sufyan Mahmood, Nadim Khan, Shah Faisal, and Shakil Ahmad. So that was, I did my best, guys. If I mispronounced or butchered those names, I did my best. I do apologise, but if I do get it wrong, please let me know how to correct myself for the future. But look, the guys that you're probably going to know here is not many at all. You might have heard the name Jatinder Singh before, potentially the captain for Oman. Sikandar Raza, you've probably heard of him from Zimbabwe, but overall you're not going to have too much of an idea about these two teams here today because they are in those associate nations. They are the minnow nations compared to your Australias, your Englands, your Indias, your Pakistans, your Sri Lankas and South Africas and New Zealands and whatnot. You know, these are a part of this next group of teams. Now in regards to the Oman form coming into this game, and the game starts in 5 minutes time, Oman had a World Cup warm-up match that was against Zimbabwe, and they actually won by 4 wickets with 4 balls left. So very interesting there. In a warm-up match, these two teams have already played, and the winner actually was Oman. They got 188. They chased down 187 in 19.2 overs. So that's actually a really good sign there to back in the Omanis. With that being said, though, the last time Scotland and Italy played, Scotland got a good win, but Italy obviously, Italy got a good win, but Scotland today absolutely dominated them. So in that warm-up match, Oman did beat Zimbabwe by 4 wickets with 4 balls left. You go back to another warm-up match where they played Sri Lanka A, and they did beat them. They chased down 145. Oman won by 5 wickets with 12 balls left. So that's good. It was the Sri Lanka A team, though. It wasn't Sri Lanka. It was their next team down. We go to a couple of T20 emerging teams in the Asian Cup group stage. They played India A, and they did lose by 6 wickets with 13 balls left, so not the full-strength India team. And India A, you go to a game against the UAE, who are also here in this World Cup. They chased down 154. They won by 2 wickets with 0 balls left, so on the final ball, they got the win. They played Pakistan A, which Pakistan put out a massive total of 220, and they ended up winning that game by 40 runs. Oman only getting to 180. They played Japan, and they won by 9 wickets with 18 balls left. They only had to chase down 103. They got 107. They lost to Nepal by 38 runs. 151 for 9 is what Nepal said it, and Oman just couldn't chase it down. They played the UAE, won by 5 wickets with 2 balls left. Played Qatar, won by 34 runs. Played Papua New Guinea, won by 52 runs there with a 138 total. And chased down a measly 92 from Samoa to win by 5 wickets with 18 balls left. It probably took a little bit too long there to get to that, to be fair. But yeah, they are beating a lot of these teams in. When they played Kuwait in a 2-game series, they beat them by 5 wickets, 4 balls left, and 5 wickets with 11 balls left in both those games. So, you know, they do They do have they do have some good results in their category, in their caliber. You actually go back to a game against India in the Asia Cup, which is their last big bopper team, and they did lose to India only by 21 runs at the end. India 188 for 8, and Oman were 167 for 4. It's not too bad there from Oman. You're not really complaining with that overall. When they did play Pakistan in that same Asia Cup, though, they did lose by 93 runs. 160 is what Pakistan got. Oman all out for 67 through 16.4, so not great there. But overall, you've seen that they are able to get the results against these minnow nations, and it's huge that in the World Cup warm-up match, we did see Oman beat Zimbabwe by 4 wickets with 4 balls left. On the other end, we've already spoken about Zimbabwe against Oman, but in their other World Cup warm-up match, they did play the Netherlands and beat them. Now, the Netherlands put on a great show against Pakistan the other day. Nearly won, should have won, didn't win. But Zimbabwe won by 29 runs over the Netherlands. They had a one-off tournament against Sri Lanka where they lost by 9 wickets with 22 balls left. They played Pakistan and they lost by 69 runs. They beat Sri Lanka in one of those one-off tournaments by 67 runs, 162 for 8. Sri Lanka all out for 95, so that's an impressive result there for Zimbabwe. They lost to Pakistan by 5 wickets with 4 balls left. Lost to Afghanistan by just the 9 runs, very close. Still got 201, but Afghanistan did get 210 in their innings. And then they lost to Afghanistan in another game by 7 wickets with 12 balls left. Afghanistan chased down the 125, and they got 129. And then that was a 3-game series against Afghanistan. They lost all 3 games, but they lost the first one by 53 runs. Outside of that Sri Lanka game, the last time that we did see, because I can go through your Kenyas and your Namibias and all that type of stuff where they're getting wins. I want to see their last game against a big bopper team. They actually have a pretty good record against Sri Lanka. They had a 3-game series against them last year late on, and they won 1 game. They won by 5 wickets in the second game with 34 balls left. The third game they lost by 8 wickets. In the first game they lost by 4 wickets, but they still are able to pick up a result. But you go back to the last really big team in a T20, and it's a while ago, man. It's a while ago. They beat Ireland pretty convincingly when they played their series early last year. Jeez, they haven't played a big team for a while, man. They haven't played a big team for a while. Pakistan, I guess, in a T20 series, they lost by 10 wickets, 87 balls left, and also 57 runs. So pretty comprehensive there. So look, overall, this is going to be a very interesting game. Oman won the World Cup warm-up match between the two. Zimbabwe have the caliber. When they played India in a 5-game T20 series, wow, 5 games between India and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe beat India by 13 runs. This was mid-July. In 2024, Zimbabwe actually won by 13 runs. They scored 115 for 9. India got 102. In the second game, India won by 100 runs, getting 234. The third game, India won by 23 runs. The fourth game, India won by 10 wickets. And the fifth game, India won by 42 runs. So India, comprehensive victory. But it shows that Zimbabwe can pick up a result. They can. So I'm probably still going to back in Zimbabwe, despite the fact they did lose to Oman in that World Cup warm-up match. I'm probably going to still take them because I know a bit more about them. But it's a very difficult. These games are so toss and turn. You're just never going to know. We're about to see the first ball come up here. I just want to quickly go and have a look and see what the odds are suggesting for this game. They do have Zimbabwe as the heavy favourites, $1.20, Oman at 440. I think there's value there in 440 considering that Oman did win that warm-up match, but no, I'm going to back in Zimbabwe to get the job done here today. Hopefully we do get a good game, and then later on tonight we will be live as the South Africans take on the Canadians. Obviously we're live for pretty much every single game. Pretty much every single game of this T20 World Cup, sorry, the hiccup. Pretty much every single game of this T20 World Cup. So hit that subscribe button, guys. Smash the thumbs up button, and let's get going. Highlight says, hello. It's crazy to see England nearly lose. How good has this tournament been? Tournament's been fantastic, man. Really enjoyed it. Even that Scotland-Italy game before was enjoyable to watch, despite it not being too competitive in the end. That England-Nepal game is probably going to go down as the game of the tournament, really. That was absolutely incredible. Why can I not hear this right now? I cannot hear the broadcast of Prime. Let me just make sure here. Is this them or is this me? Because obviously my microphone's working, so it's not the headset, but something seems to be struggling right now. No, so it is. Us is fine. But it's just for some reason I cannot, for the life of me, hear anything on the broadcast. So yeah, input's fine there. Is okay. Let me just take this out. Give me 1 second, you guys. don't know what happened there, but at least the microphone was still going. But all right, guys, let's get into it. But no, that was a fantastic game between England and Nepal. That will probably go down as one of the games of the tournament. Kraken says Sikandar Raza is one of the best T20 all-rounders of all time. Absolutely. So we go to the batting rankings here before we see this first bowl. So the first player that comes up from either team here will probably be from Zimbabwe. It's Brian Bennett in regards to the batting rankings. Brian Bennett is ranked in number 21, so he's a good batter. That is high. That's above Quinton de Kock. That's above Aiden Markram of South Africa. It's above Harry Brook of England in 25th. It's above Rita Hendricks, Bubba Azam, Josh Inglis, Ishan Kishan. So he's really high up there for Zimbabwe at 21. Wowee. And then we keep going down to see their next batter. No, I'm not expecting any Omanis really here, but Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza, he is in number 60 on the batting rankings. Okay, first ball coming up here, and then we'll get back into those batting rankings. First ball, and it will be a dot ball. So don't forget, Zimbabwe did decide to bowl. They won the toss and elected to bowl. I'm just going to actually, before we get to the batting rankings again, I'm going to go to the scorecard here so that you guys can see the runs being put up. Amir Kaleem and Jatinder Singh are the ones opening up here for the Omanis in the batting. There we go. Okay, that's all sorted. Rock and rolling. Beautiful. Second bowl coming up. Oh, it was a wide. It was a wide to start off, by the way, from Ngarava, who is the bowler. Asif Yagub is the ump today, and that's going to be a single. So the first legitimate bowl will be a single. They're 2 for nothing. Let's go back into these batting rankings. Sikandar Raza is in number 60. No one from Oman still. I wouldn't expect him in the top 100. And Zimbabwe, Ryan Burl, 84. 84 for Ryan Burl. And that is it. So they've got 3 players in the top 100 for batting, but one of their players in Brian Bennett is in the top 21. He's in the top 21 batters worldwide in the ICC rankings. Next bowl coming up. Raji says, Sri Lanka cricket in a miserable situation. The last series with England on home soil was a disaster for Sri Lanka. I agree, especially, Raji, because you've got to consider it was 128 they were chasing in the third game. But England's England. Like, England is... Well, it didn't look great against Nepal. We had dot ball here. Didn't look great against Nepal, but England's England. So it's still a tough series. But losing 3-0 and to not chase that 128 was pretty disastrous, man. So, look, I will agree. Sri Lanka did get at least a decent enough win against Ireland last night. Let's see them go against the Australians because they're in the same group. This is actually still Australia's group as well, by the way, guys. So Zimbabwe, Oman, Australia, Sri Lanka and Ireland are all in the same group. So watching this game as an Australian is very important because we will be playing these two teams throughout the group stage. But no, it was disappointing for sure, Raji. It was, but you know, at the end of the day, the Sri Lankans did get a win yesterday, and we just have to see them go up against the Aussies, which is going to be tough, but it is in Sri Lanka, so they'll be very happy with that. I think that's at Pallekele Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, 3 batters in the top 100 for the Zimbabweans, 0 batters in the top 100 for Oman. Let's check out the bowling side. And it's going to be a while till we get to someone over here. So, Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza is actually in number 30. He is. He is in... Going for Zimbabwe. You're crazy, Potato. Zimbabwe is crazy. Oh, beautiful shot from Jatinder Singh for a boundary. That's a 4, the first boundary of the game. Ngarava is bowling, and he gives up that for the 192nd 4 of the tournament so far. So Zimbabwe do have actually 2 here up close. So 30 is Sikandar Raza, and equal 31 with Marco Jansen is Brad Evans. So that's pretty good to have 2 there in the top 31. 2 players will go down further. Zimbabwe, number 61 is Richard Ngarava, who is bowling right now. He's got his 6th bowl of the over, but 5th legitimate bowl. And that is going to be a good stop there from going for a 4. They're going to get a single, but a good stop. That was a 4 for all money, 7 for nothing. So Richard Ngarava is in number 61. And then that is it, I think. I think that's it for the top 100. No, then Blessing Muzarabani is in number 99. No Omanis in either the top 100 for batting or bowling. You bring up with a chat like this on. Yeah, this is going to be a long watch. No, look, you just got to see it for what it is, mate. You just got to enjoy it for these associate nations coming onto the scene and getting an opportunity to shine in games where they can win. You know, this is a toss-up. Oh, that was lucky to not be a wicket, but it will be a dot ball. 7 runs, they'll take it off of the first over. It's a positive start here for the Omanis. Of the winners score 125 will be impressed. Well, again, these two teams played in a World Cup warm-up match where Oman did win. And I think it was in the 180s, bro. I think they both scored into the 180s. We'll have a look. So Zimbabwe got 187 and forced Oman to chase 187, and Oman got 188 with 4 balls remaining. They won by 4 wickets. So these teams can obviously put on a bit of a show here. That would be a really enjoyable show if they put that kind of game on. Yeah, these are the games that feed generations, Logan. Like, again, I am excited for South Africa versus Canada later on tonight, even though that doesn't look like it's meant to be a massive game. But with the way the tournament's been going, you're seeing teams like Canada provide these shocks and giving the heart attack to these big-time nations. Everyone's on high alert right now. Every single big nation. Like, as an Australian, we're sitting here, we're taking the piss, we're having a laugh at all these big nations struggling. And then we'll play Ireland, and you watch it. Ireland will play up to us. They'll play up to us, and they'll put us. Oh, he's bowled him. Oh, that's a peach of a bowl. Muzara Bani has just absolutely smashed his wicket over. And that is 7 for 1. Jatinder Singh is gone. Oh, boy. He is gone. 1 wicket, 7 for 1, 1.1 overs down. But no, I appreciate that, Sean. I'm glad that you're enjoying. I'm glad that people are enjoying our cricket streams, as it is a new thing on the channel for the consistency of it. You know, we always used to do the Australian Summer Series, but we've never done games that weren't Australia. And we did some T20s and ODIs before the World Cup, and now we're doing all the World Cup. And we've got plenty of cricket all year long, even when Australia's not playing, man. So, no, it's good to see that people are enjoying these cricket streams, and we're definitely growing that part of the channel. Raji says Sri Lankans love Aussies. Well, Raji, I'm actually going to be in Sri Lanka later on this year. Yes, I'm currently in Vietnam. Then I'm off to Philippines and Indonesia, and then I'll be back in Vietnam and Malaysia. And I was originally meant to go to Laos, but I just think Sri Lanka is so beautiful, man. I really do. I think Sri Lanka is so beautiful. And I was in India last year. I would have loved to have got to Sri Lanka last year, but I just didn't have the opportunity. So this year, I want to come and I want to visit, and I definitely am looking forward to it, mate. It's not until later on in the year, like October, November kind of deal, but it's going to be great. Beautiful beaches. It's definitely coming up more on the tourist scene in regards to people seeing what Sri Lanka is made of. And no, we do love a bit of Sri Lanka, and hope to see you guys go well in this tournament. Just not at the expense of Australia. Not at the expense of beating us. Please don't beat us. Because we had a shocking series against Pakistan, so I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm freaking out. Lucky we didn't play the USA in game 1. Lucky. Lucky. Whereas my boy Blessing Muzarabani, he's right here, Potato Dragon. He's already whacked over a stump. He's already slapped him. He's already slapped a wicket in. Oh, shut up, Seb Watson. England never in doubt yesterday. When were England in confidence? When was there a moment in that game they thought it was guaranteed? So that'll be a dot ball here on the second ball. Potato says, did you hear about Zimbabwe getting rid of Sean Williams? That's my boy Blessing Muzarabani. He's my favourite Zimbabwe player. Man, it's a great bowl. That is just right down the throat. He has got that ball. He has shoved it down the throat of Oman and just smashed his wicket over. Smashed it. Kraken says, I'm in 100% support of having a T20 World Cup every 2 years. Very soon we would see some minnow countries winning the cup. Would love to see that. Who do you think, you know what, this is a question for everyone here. That's going to be a dot ball. Great over so far for Muzarabani. But who do you think, this goes for everyone, is the first minnow nation or associate nation to win the World Cup? So this is not including Australia, India, New Zealand, South Africa, even though New Zealand have never done it, neither of South Africa. So outside of Australia, India, Pakistan, New Zealand, South Africa. I'm not gonna include Sri Lanka. I'm gonna say Sri Lanka here too. They're not an associate nation. They're not a minnow. Oh, good bowl. Ooh, single. Might have just been missing. Scotland. Shout, but they lost to Jersey. This is gonna be a trend throughout this whole World Cup. You know, it's an interesting question. Would you classify Afghanistan in this range? Would you? Let's see this bowl again. And yeah, definitely missing there by a mile. I don't. If you're including Afghanistan, then. But the thing is, you know what? I'm actually going to go against you here, Seb. I'm going to say USA or Canada on the basis that there is a large Indian contingent and Pakistani contingent that will funnel a lot of money into these teams. They will get really good funding. And you've got population, you've got the facilities. If they take it seriously, if USA and Canada take this sport seriously, you're never going to get the overall support from America and Canada. But with the large Indian and Pakistani contingency in these countries and the large investment opportunities, I think they could be a major player in the world scene. I think they could be a major, major player in the world scene. The next world champs getting the win this morning. No, that's on Wednesday, mate. Australia play Ireland on Wednesday. So that's going to be a double. It was just never usually watch T20 World Cup, but the streams give you something to talk about during the games that can get repetitive. Dude, I wouldn't be able to watch every single game without these streams because we've got the comment section to bounce off and talk with about a whole bunch of things, right? So we sit here and we talk about it rather than it would be super boring if you are just watching every single game, in my opinion, without, like, you're not going to be bored during Australia versus India. You're not going to be bored through Pakistan versus New Zealand or South Africa versus Afghanistan kind of deal. You're not going to get bored through that. But you are going to sit through these games and be like, why am I bothering? Because they're not going to win the World Cup. You know there's not much on the line in regards to overall World Cup feeling. It's more about just the individual nations and their growth capacity and ability, right? So that's why these streams are good, because you can talk about it and talk about more things than just the game. It definitely does exhaust me at the end of the day, but no, I love it. I just love sport. Okay, Ngarava comes back in for a bowl. It was a fantastic over. It was a fantastic over. It was a great bowl from Ngarava. It was a fantastic over that we just saw from the Zimbabweans. Muzabarani. Great stuff. No, Afghanistan has a test cap. Yeah, look, but the thing is, you can understand why I put the question out there and put the feeler out there for that. You know, because Sri Lanka would be on the same conversational point. West Indies would also be on the same conversational point, except for the fact that they are historically successful. Because historically speaking, Sri Lanka are a part of the big dogs. West Indies are a part of the big dogs. Swing and a miss. He's gone. He's got him. Ngarava with another wicket. It's 8 for 2. This game could be over quickly if they keep doing this. 8 runs, 2 wickets. Hamad is gone on a duck. Quack, quack, in a check. Quack, 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 in a check. Quack, quack, in a check. Well, I'm only with the moustache. Get around the moustache with Travis Head. Get around the Travie Head moustache. It was awful at the start, but I don't think it's too bad now. It's not too bad. Like, it's still not great, but I don't think it's too bad. But Zimbabwe, they are on fire in regards to the bowling here in Sri Lanka and Sinhalese ground. Kraken says you can't really include Afghanistan. They just don't have titles where they make it to the semis. Yeah, but see, this is why it's an interesting question, because you can't really. You've used the words you can't really. You haven't just straight out flatline said no. You can't really says, well, the question's valid. I would agree with you that I wouldn't, but the question's valid to put it there because they haven't won anything. They're not as historically successful as teams like Sri Lanka and West Indies, even as much to say Zimbabwe. You know, the question is there. They're in the semis of the T20 World Cup 2024 and would have made it in 2023 too if Maxwell didn't get a cramp. Oh, Maxwell, what a man. What an absolute man. What a beautiful man. Let's go Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Whoa. Come on, Zimbabwe. No problem if you're Omani. We'll have a bit of Omani, but, you know, Zimbabwe, like a lot of people will kind of just feel like they're a bit of a soft spot team for them. I don't know why, but they just always have that vibe about them. So next bowl from Ngarava. Already 2 wickets seen for the Zimbabweans. And that is a good bowl again. Wow, the Zimbabweans are bowling really good here. Sport reactions. Nepal did good against England. They were fantastic, mate. They were unreal. I don't think it's the same conversational point of USA should have won without that dropped catch of Surya Yadav. And I don't think it's the same conversational point if Netherlands should have won if they didn't drop the catch as well. But I think that Nepal lost fair and square, but it was the most impressive of the 3 games. So Nepal were more impressive than USA and also Netherlands, in my opinion. But it's not at the point of them dropping a catch. It's at the point of they just weren't able to get the job done in the end. But it was an incredible game. Everyone says that Maxwell innings is probably the best ODI innings ever. I think it has to be, mate. I think it has to be. It's incredible. They were done. Australia were absolutely done for all money, mate. And for him, he just put... Those are the moments that make someone. Those are the moments that bring the legends, like we were talking about with Lakesh yesterday for Nepal. Those are the moments, and he made that moment his. And a lot of players can't break through it. A lot of players will struggle to capture the moment, but he captured that moment, just like a Travis Head in the World Cup final in India in Ahmedabad. You know, there's the moment. You either take it or you don't, and he damn well took it. Same thing with Glenn Maxwell. Same thing with, not to the same extent, but same thing with Yadav the other night. Like, India would have lost that game to USA, 100%. But Yadav took the moment. It's not a memorable long-term moment of getting a good amount of runs against the USA, but it's an individual massive moment there for Yadav. Used to love Heath Streak as a player back in the day. Shatish says, on one leg, cramping after every shot, and he brought Aussies over the line. Big fan of that innings. I don't think... Oh! Edged. But just gets past the wiki, and it's going to be a 4. Does that come off the bat, or was that off the pad? No, it's going to be called leg buys. Okay. Still, the bowling here is spectacular from Zimbabwe. 3 overs down, 12 for 2. Economy of 4 runs right now. You're loving that. Nepal was smashing balls prior to the last over. Exactly, Potato. They didn't capture the moment. And also, I think they played the last over incorrectly. As I will continuously say, their main guy, Lakesh, was there. They then, I can't remember who the other batter was. He comes in with like a couple balls. And they didn't want him on strike. So Lakesh hits a single opportunity. You need 6 to win, 5 for a super over. You take that single on the second last ball of the over on the sole purpose of, yes, you're not going to get Lakesh, who's been the one killing it with 38 runs or whatever it was. He's killing it. Lakesh will come off strike, and it would be your not as confident batter, or good shot over the top there for a 4 for Oman. Amir will get 2-5. 16 for 2. So you take Lakesh off, you use your not strong batter, but now a super over is only a 4 and a 6 wins the game. I know you're not as confident, but a 4 is a lot bigger of a chance off of a skewed shot. He's still a professional cricketer. He's still well and truly high enough in the order to get a 4. I back him in over Lakesh because Lakesh must hit a 6 because you can't get 5. So a 5 gets you to the super over, a 4 gets you to the super over, but you've got 2 chances at victory here. That's a dot ball. Good ball from Muzarabani. You've got 2 chances of winning. One via the super over, one via the 6. But instead they chose to not take the single, so it forced a 6 on the final play. It comes down to the experience. It comes down to the captaincy there. They needed to take that single. They needed to take it. Just excellent Sam Khan bowling. Sam, you are out of control, mate. You're out of control. Run rate of 4.8. And, oh, that's over the top again, but he's out. Amir is gone, and Muzarabani. He's got 2 wickets. He's on fire. 3 wickets for Oman. They're 16 for 3 already. 16 for 3 already. Here we go, Zimbabwe. Oh, whoa, whoa. Potato. Muzarabani. Not time for your man. He is the time. This is his moment. This is. Just to confirm, can you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up so I know how far behind you guys are from me? Muzarabani gets another wicket. Good game's a fast game, Sam. This is looking like it's going to be a fast game. Okay, not too far behind. Because the reason why is because Potato has just said time for my man Blessing. But we've already seen 3 balls, or 2 balls by the time he said that. No, we said 3 balls with the wicket when he commented that. So I think he's a little bit behind. Maybe, Potato, you have to click on Go Live, because I think you might be a little bit behind this stream. 3.3 overs down. And it's 16 for 3 already. Quick game's a good game. That's the way to say it right now. Wasim, he will come in. Again, Oman got 180. They chased down a massive score. I think they chased down 186 to win with a 187. And right now they're struggling to get the damn well 20. But this is great bowling. It is. It's great bowling. And next bowl is going to be a single. Good throw. Will be a single, 17 for 3. This is great bowling here from Muzarabani and also Ngarava. But that first bowl was spectacular for that just straight bowl. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Well, Sebby, you get a little bit nervous when you have to play Scotland. I reckon you're getting a bit nervous, aren't you? I think you would be. Oh, that's going to be too high, but wow, good bowl again. My stream was 30 seconds behind. I thought so. Kraken says they have to show that Lotus building a million times in every Sri Lanka game. Yeah. Well, this is a great... They've funneled a lot of money into the tourism industry in recent years. Sri Lanka have been promoting themselves massively to a global audience and a lot to the Western audience, to try and bring some people there rather than just to places like Thailand and Vietnam and Indonesia and the likes where everyone will... Oh, catch it, he's gone. It's 17 for 4. Muzarabani is 3 wickets for 5. This is unreal stuff from Zimbabwe. This is unreal stuff from Zimbabwe. Karan is gone on a duck. Muzarabani with 3 wickets already. That is 2 ducks in this game so far. Oman just have absolutely no answers right now in the batting. And they're going to struggle to get 50 right now. Like, dearie me. Potato Dragon says, when I watched the test match of Australia versus Sri Lanka looked so cool. Yeah, I remember I've been to a Sri Lanka versus Australia test match in Australia, in Brisbane. It was so much fun. The Sri Lankans were partying the whole time. We obviously won, but they were partying the whole time. Guess this won't be a long watch. Not looking like it's going to be a long game here. 17 for 4 is disastrous. This is the power play too, mind you. And the only reason they've gotten their boundaries is off of the back of the power play. This contest was so hyped yesterday by the pundits, and look at them now. Because Oman won the World Cup warm-up match. Was that a Barney 5 for today? Yes, well, Romario for West Indies. I didn't say West Ham. Romario for the West Indies. He is the only one with a 5 for so far. Like, let's go and compare the two here. In that World Cup warm match, Amir Kaleem got 23 runs. Today, 5 runs. Jatinder Singh got 55 runs. Today, 5 runs. Hamad Mirza got 35 runs. Today, duck. Wasim Ali, 4 today. He's still there on 1. Karan Sonavale, he got 15. Today, duck. Massive comparison. Massive comparison. My Sri Lanka professor at uni is nice. Sri Lankans are very nice people. Very nice people. But run rate, 4.25. But no, so the reason why you're saying that is because they do want to use this as a way to bring people into Sri Lanka as well. The funding for tourism has gone crazy there. Zimbabwe really. Score predictor 117. Ooh. Oh, big yikes. Big yikes. Players was not able to sleep last night because of the excitement of this contest. This game is living to its expectations, I can say. I'm not even going to be able to sleep tonight after what we've watched here. I don't know if I'll ever sleep again. Just thinking about Oman versus Zimbabwe. I might never sleep again at the thought of this. How good's this for Zimbabwe, though? This is good signs for them. They are in a very interesting group. You know what? You know what? They bowl like this. Maybe they could have a crack at Sri Lanka. They could have a crack at them. There's no way Sri Lanka don't make the groups, the Super 8, surely, at home. And that will go through, but just for a single. 18 for 4. Every run is so important for them right now. It'd be a miracle for them to get through the full 20 overs here. Absolute miracle. Absolute miracle. I had a great bun me this morning. Oh, he was so good. So good. Nice little coconut coffee and a bun me. Living the life. I actually... the lighting's not good if I open this curtain, but I got an amazing view of Ho Chi Minh here. At night time I open this up and I've got a great view of all the lights and whatnot. It's so cool, but unfortunately during the day the light's not good if I have that. Oh my gosh, and nearly another wicket, but it'll be a dot ball. But yeah, it's so cool just sitting here having the view there of the BKRsport Hotel and all that. Oman vs Zimbabwe is like a Panthers vs Storm game. It's better than a Panthers vs Storm game. It's like State of Origin. It really is. Blessing Musarabani is just ripping through Oman. Absolutely. He's ripping through him. Sinhalese Stadium in Colombo. Bowling from tennis court end is so funny. As an Australian, from like our facility standards of like MCG, SCG, the Gabba, Optus Stadium, Adelaide Oval kind of deal, it's just so funny. And I understand it, but it's just so funny seeing bowling from the tennis court end rather than from like the Shane Warne stand. Bowling from the Shane Warne stand or something like that. It does just show the levels and the difference in the game, which, you know, is why you need to remember what you're watching. It reminds you of what you're watching comparatively. No chance they get 117 here. Surely that's a long way off. It is a long way off. They're 19 for 4. They don't have any batters in the top 100. They don't have any bowlers in the top 100. Oh my gosh, that is awful running. He thinks the single's on there. It went to short. Anyway, he gets back. 19 for 4. They're really bowling a lot of short balls here. 48% have been short. A lot have been length. Nothing really slot. No Yorkers and no full toss. 2 bounces. They're loving those short, which is really frustrating the Omanis. 3.93 of a run rate in a T20 through 4.5 is insane. Oh! Not in control again. He's fine though, he doesn't get out, but this is just so scary for Oman. 5 overs down to the power play, only 19 runs, 4 wickets. What do you do? What do you do to get yourself out of this mess? And it is a mess. It is definitely a mess. This chick on this La Roche-Posay advertisement dead set looks like Erling Haaland, by the way. Every time I see her, it dead set looks like Erling Haaland every time. Get the snippy jar out. It's always here, Seb. It's always here. I got it. I got it, son. I always got it. So next in would be Jiten, Vinayak, Nadim Khan, Faisal, and Shakil. They've got 6 extras, by the way, so they've actually only got 13 runs. 6 extras. Musarabani, they're just going to continue with him right now. He's 3 wickets, 5 runs. Again, the short ball nearly gets him. His economy right now is under 2.5, and he's got 3 wickets. Ooh, they're going to call that as a wide. No, they've said it's fine. Another short delivery. Just gets over the top of the bat, though. Yeah, this is really troubling the batsmen. They don't know what to do at the moment. At all. 2.31 economy with 11 dots at 3 wickets. Another dot ball there. This would be interesting when he plays a team like Australia. It would be interesting when he's coming up against guys like Travis Head, Mitchy Marsh and whatnot. Like, I think Travis Head and whatnot will be fine, but it's good bowling. Extras looking good for top batsmen today. Yeah, they're only 6 runs. The extras are only 7 runs behind the total score. 3 for 5 through 2.2. And that's going to be a good shot for a 4. Yeah, good stuff from Sufyan. He'll get a boundary. There'll be 5 runs for Sufyan. And the Omanis will be on 23 for 4. They cannot have another wicket for another, like, 7 overs. Didn't Zimbabwe get a win against Australia in the last white ball series? Did they? Zimbabwe versus Australia. Obviously, we play them, showing us the World Cup game. In the ODI, Zimbabwe beaten Australia 3 times. They've beaten them 3 times. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back here. Let's go back and have a look. Because Zimbabwe played us recently. I think we played them this year, don't we? Do we play them a couple of games this year in something, like a T20 or something? At home? I can't remember. Or was that somebody else? I can't remember. We haven't played them for a while, actually. We haven't played them in a long time. And that will be... Oh, might be run out. Oh, very close. It'll be a dot ball. I think the last time we played Zimbabwe was, back in 2023. That's why I'm scrolling all the way back here. Scrolling all the way back. And we're in September of 2023. Still haven't seen him just yet. Still haven't seen him. Still haven't seen him. It might be 2022. Yeah, I think it's going to be 2022. Yeah, it was 2022. And that will be a single for Sufyan. Good over from Mutarabani again. Only 5 runs given up off it. He's 3 for 10 through 3. So, yes, in the ODI series in Australia, Australia had already won 2-0. So Australia won the first by 5 wickets with 99 balls left. They chased 200 and got 201 in 33.3 overs. And then in the second game, Australia won by 8 wickets. They bowled Zimbabwe out for 96 and got 100 in the first 14.4 overs. In the third game, Zimbabwe won by 3 wickets with 66 balls left. Let me just go and have a look at the team lineup here for the Aussies in this ODI. So for Australia, we had David Warner, Aaron Finch, Steve Smith. Yeah, good team. Alex Carey, Marcus Stoinis, Cameron Green, Glenn Maxwell, Ashton Agar, Mitchell Stark, Adam Samper, Josh Hazlewood. I will really emphasise that this was a 3-game series and Australia had already won 2-0 very easily in the first 2 games. So the intention was clearly different. But great result there for Zimbabwe regardless. Yeah, blockbuster game here, Serpent. 24 for 4 for Oman. Blockbuster. What's got better group stage, FIFA World Cup or T20 World Cup? I would say on its merit alone, you've got more chance of seeing huge upsets in the group stage of the Cricket World Cup, as we've seen. Now, I know we play them in the World Cup. This is our group. We play Oman as the last game. The last game of the entire group stage is against Oman. Australia versus Oman is the last game of everyone's group stage. So the end of the power play here, guys. 6 overs down. It's a drinks break. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. If Pakistan lose to the USA, you reckon they back out of the boycott for the points? That's a great question. Wow, that's a fantastic question. Didn't even think about that. Yeah, I do. But have they organised it? Because I think India still has to turn up to the game. I think the players and whatnot, they still have to turn up. But you know what's interesting? If they did choose to play that, I wonder how long, because the fans aren't going to turn up to the game, because there's not going to be a game there. So could they turn up and it not be like a massive crowd? Yeah, exactly. For Pakistan to qualify, they've got to beat USA and Namibia, and it can't be rained out. If USA win, that'll put a spanner in the works. That's a very interesting question. I don't know what they do there. That could back them really into a corner. But also, could it play into their hands that no one's going to go to the game then? Because, people will just turn up late anyway. Even Jersey might beat you, Cats, then. Look, Seb, Scotland have beaten England before. So, with Jersey having beaten Scotland this year, I think Jersey is better than Scotland, and Jersey is thus better than England. Didn't Pakistan say they will boycott the tournament if Bangladesh gets kicked out? Yeah, but Bangladesh didn't get kicked out. They boycotted. They didn't. They chose to not come. So Sikandar Raza, their best bowler, he comes in. And let's see what Raza can do just after this power play is finished. They're only at 4 runs per over at the moment. 7 said that's right. If T20 was an Olympic sport, would it be bigger than the World Cup? I'm pretty certain the T20 is a sport in the Olympics in 2032. I think Australia is including it. Or is it rugby 7? I know rugby 7 is there, but I think Australia is including T20 in the Olympics in 2032 in Brisbane. I could be wrong. Can't remember. I cannot remember. Yeah, I don't know what happens there because I don't know about the logistics of it all now. Oh, that's up in the air. No, that will go through for a single. Like Pakistan, hold on. I'm gonna just confirm this in Google. Has Pakistan officially boycotted the India game? Pakistan on Sunday formally announced its decision to boycott its marquee World Cup Group League match against India, even as the government declared the national team's participation for the rest of the tournament. That'll be a single there. Oh, no, they don't get a single. It is a dot ball that should have been a one there. Yeah, it's saying it's boycotting, but I think with their formally announcing its decision, I don't think they can go back on it. I don't think they can. And that will go out for a single here for Wasim. He'll be on 3. Moses Mariga says, I think Muzarabani is Zimbabwe's best bowler than Raza. Well, look, fair enough. I was just going via the ICC rankings on the bowling. Because if you go into the ICC rankings, you've got Zimbabwe as their number 1 bowler being Sikandar Raza at number 30. And then Brad Evans is actually equal 31st with Marco Jansen in South Africa and also Matisha Patharana from Sri Lanka. And then you go down to, I think it's 61. Yeah, 61 is Richard Garava. And it's all the way down at 99th is Blessing Muzarabani. So I think that you're right. Raza is the most glorified for Zimbabwe. Nearly called him Zimbabwe. Oh, Raza with the wicket. He's bowled him. Bushka! There he is. Sikandar Raza with a 3-run wicket over. Beautiful bowling there from Raza, and it is a wicket. It's 1 for 3 for him through his first over. And Wasim is gone on 3. The Zimbabweans are killing him. Zimbabwe. Whoa. So look, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to say Muzabarani is a very good bowler. We've already seen him kill him today, but Raza has just gotten a wicket too, and he is ranked well higher than him. But Blessing should obviously come up the rankings for sure. We should see Blessing come up the rankings in this T20 World Cup and see more of him. Kraken says there is a meeting going on in Lahore between ICC and PCB. Right now, is there? Oh, man, I would love that game to go ahead, man. That's on Sunday. I would really love it. I'll ask ChatGPT. Can Pakistan back out of their boycott and play the game against India on Sunday? Because it's a good question. It's a very interesting thought process. So anyway, Zimbabwe killing it right now. They're crushing it. It's 5 for 27. By the way, guys, if you are new here, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. So here's the current situation regarding whether Pakistan can back out of their boycott and still play. So what's actually happening? Pakistan initially announced it would boycott the scheduled match against India on the 15th of February at the Men's World Cup in protest and support of Bangladesh's position after Bangladesh was excluded from parts of the tournament. That decision came from the Pakistan government, not just the PCB, and the team captain said the squad will follow that instruction. Talks are ongoing, so a U-turn is possible. The PCB has entered negotiations with the ICC and other boards to try to resolve the situation. Several reports... Next ball will be a dot ball. Several reports say Pakistan has softened its stance and is discussing conditions under which it could play the game. According to recent reports, the PCB has made specific demands to the ICC as part of reversing the boycott, including things like bilateral cricket commitments. Another good dot ball here. Wow. Good bowling from Bennett, 2 dot balls. According to recent reports, PCB has made specific demands to the ICC as part of reversing the boycott, including things like bilateral cricket commitments, revenue terms, or acknowledgement of handshake norms, though none of these conditions have been agreed yet. Yeah, because I feel like they're probably trying to push it a bit far. I think they're trying to use this because they know how much money is in that India-Pakistan game. Massive game. The viewership will be absolutely gigantic, especially with everything that's going on. This actually could be a good ploy, to be fair. But long story short, so far it's saying that it's possible that we could still see this game. The key limitation, the decision is not final yet. As of the latest updates, no official decision has been announced that Pakistan will definitively play India on Sunday. Talks are continuing, but there's no confirmed reversal yet. The outcome hinges on further high-level discussions between the PCB and the ICC officials and likely the Pakistani government. So the bottom line is that it is possible for Pakistan to reverse their boycott if the PCB and government agree, and they're actively in talks to try to make that happen. However, as of now, there is no confirmed change of stance, so it's still uncertain whether Pakistan will turn up and play India on Sunday. Decisions are being worked through over the next few days. So what I gather from all of that, still a chance. Really hope that it happens. Wouldn't hold your breath on it because it seems like Pakistan are demanding a bit more to use this situation as leverage. I think that they've gone in with an intention, and the intention is fine, but now they can see that they've got leverage as well. So maybe they push it too much with the leverage, but I feel like you would have to know within the next 2-3 days, maybe by Thursday, because that game's on Sunday, so they'd have to have the preparations for the stadium. They'd have to let all the fans know that you can come to the game. They'd have to have all the organisation, the security processes and protocols would have to be sorted out. So that needs to be sorted out in the next couple of days. I heard news of them having some sort of meeting, yeah. Smith says, I don't know why they make the Olympics one city instead of a whole country. It makes it more expensive building an Olympic village and new facilities. Well, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of what the Olympics is. I do understand logistically what you're talking about, but with what the Olympics is, I prefer it the way it is. But logistically, yours makes more sense. I think Musa Rabbani is Zimbabwe's best bowler because I like him the most. I remember Musa Rabbani bowling really good in one of the past T20 World Cups. Well, he's bowling really well right now. 3 for 10 through 3 overs. Pretty good. Evans, next bowl of his over. And that's going to go through for a single for Sufyan. 28 for 5, now 29 for 5 through 8.1. I don't think they get 100. They honestly will struggle to get to 50. They will. Smith says, I think Zimbo has a chance to get back to their previous level. They're a cricket nation. I love it, man. I'd love to see Zimbabwe. I'd love to see Zimbabwe back at their peak. Be awesome to see. If they bowl like this, I want to see them play Sri Lanka, because I actually think if they're bowling like this against Sri Lanka, there's a chance, bro. There's a chance. Sri Lanka aren't at their peak right now. They're not looking exactly fantastic. Zimbabwe have a potential scalp on the card. Next bowl from Evans. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. It's LB. That's LB. That's LB. Oh, no. Oh, they all went up for it with me, but the umpire said, no, I don't know if they review this, but I thought it might be just missing. And he's going to review this, I reckon. Oh, no, he changed his mind, Raza. Raza changed his mind. He had his hand like this. He changed his mind and won't review it. If Pakistan does not play... Oh, here we go. I want to see this bowl again. I think it might be just going down. And, yeah, no, it's a good call from the ump. Great call. If Pakistan does not play ICC, will kill Pakistan cricket with all the sanctions. There is a huge chance they reverse the decision. I would love to see it, bro. Be a big stream on Sunday if that's the case. That'd be massive. Good bowl. That'd be single. Amit says, Oman playing shit. They'll break our test record of 36 all out. No, that's not happening, bro. They'll get 6 more runs, surely. 36 all out's wild, by the way. That's test record. That's way worse. Test is way worse than getting all out in T20 for under 36. We have seen the Adelaide Strikers get done for like 17 all out in T20, but Test cricket to be all out for 36 is way worse than anything that could happen here. The only way you could have a worse score in T20 than that Test cricket game with 36 all out would be, and don't continue that conversation because I know what you want to say, but the only way you could have a worse T20 individual score would be to have like all out for 5. 5 is pretty reasonable for 36. Seb says, I wonder if with it being in the 28 games that maybe USA and Canada improve a lot by then, looking for a big boost for the game. Would be awesome, man. Large Indian contingent. Oh, that's a good bowl. That's a good bowl. But it might be going over, I reckon. They're all celebrating it, but umpire said no. I think that's going over. Joker says, why couldn't Zimbabwe win the toss? Zimbabwe did win the toss. You are a toss. What are you talking about? Zimbabwe did win the toss, Jacko. What are you talking about? I don't think anyone minds this match is a short one. I think the Zimbabweans would love a little bit longer. Yeah, it's our inside edge as well. I do think that's probably gone a little bit high anyway. Next ball. Right back. Dot ball. This is Thunder got out for 15. Thank you. I think that was the one. Thunder against the Adelaide Strikers. 30 for 5. 9 overs down. 3.33 run rate. Wowee. I am very high on the future of USA and Canada. Very high. And I can't wait to see Canada play South Africa tonight. Because although they might not be there yet, USA showed that if the funding is there and they put some financials behind that team, they can make a scene. They can put a show on. I understand that Ventura Quick and whatnot, they're loose Americans. But that's not the point. The point of the matter is that, like, you could argue Mann is from South Africa, right? You can definitely say Ben Stokes, the captain of England, from New Zealand in regards to where he's born. I disagree with the whole notion of all this type of stuff. The banter's there, but I disagree with the whole notion of it. But the point is that America and Canada are sleeping giants, man. They are sleeping giants, especially Canada as well, with their significant large Indian and Pakistani contingent. Massive. Moses says, I'm from Zimbabwe, and we develop a lot of great cricket and rugby players. Dot ball. But I think they leave the sport because domestic leagues not being well supported. I missed the days of flower rather than streak. Look, absolutely, man. You know, Zimbabwe, they've always been like a country. Oh, 1 second. That's a 4 for Viniak. That's a 4, and he'll be on 5. 34 for 5 through 9.2. Zimbabwe have always been like a nation in sport overall. Sevens, rugby union, cricket and whatnot, who have kind of been there but not quite there. Like, they're always, like, on the cusp, on the precipice of emerging on a big-time level, and they don't quite get to that level. And I think that's why everyone's got a bit of a soft spot support for a team like Zimbabwe, because they know they're always the underdogs, but they always play, you know, good cricket. You know, they always play, like, it is enjoyable to watch. I wasn't really expecting Oman to play massively enjoyable cricket, and they haven't. But it's 36 for 5 now through 9.3. But they're always on the cusp of something and just never get it. And you're probably right because of the domestic and the financials that go into it. You know, we can't compare Zimbabwe and in regards to what they can achieve because they don't have the same facilities and ability as like an Australia or like an India or an England and whatnot. And England are disappointing considering all their facilities and their financials and whatnot across all formats. But I think everyone has a soft spot for Zimbabwe on the basis of that because they are usually quite an enjoyable team to kind of get behind when it comes to sport in general. So I would love to see them to really grow and to continue playing like what they're playing like right now with Muzabarani and Raza. Masakadza is bowling right now. By the way, consider that's up in the air, but that will sit just before the fielder, so it should be 2 runs here. Viniak will get to 9. It'll be 38 for 5. Actually, I will ask you, Moses, am I correct? Am I pronouncing these names correctly too? I do like to try my best to pronounce the names correctly. I know I'm not always going to get it right, but am I pronouncing their names correctly? Jacko says I meant bat first. Yeah, well, Jacko, you got that wrong, didn't you? Not the first time from the English to get it wrong. Oh my gosh. You know, we're just trying to be a serious channel here. That's a dot ball. Good bowling from Masakadza. Well, there's a reason why they didn't bat first, and that's because they wanted to bowl them into oblivion. Zimbabwe won by 290 against the Gambia in T20. Potato Dragon, you using the Gambia as a reference in T20 is like me saying, well, Jersey beat Scotland. I'm never letting this go. I'm never letting Travis's comments about Jersey being the greatest team of all time, Scotland being the greatest team of all time go. Had a good game today, though. But I'm never letting it go because they lost to Jersey. I'm doing great with the pronunciation. Thank you, Moses. Masakadza getting smacked around. Yeah, 8 runs from Masakadza. He's getting smacked around. Wow, Raza's on 1 for 3. We've got an economy of 3 through 3 overs for Motabarani. With 3 wickets, and then you got Masakadza coming in and getting 8 runs on him. Oh my gosh, what's it turned into? It's a shit show. Well, yeah, they wanted to bowl them out quick, but now what am I going to do between now and the South Africa game? Well, you just got to hope that. Oh, jeez, that's going to be a single. Awkward shot, but we single. Yeah, we've got 3 hours to go into that South Africa-Canada game. It's a great point. You know what's funny? When we finished that Scotland versus the Scotland and why is my brain not working right now? Scotland and Italy game. There was like an hour break in between, and I was like, I'm not used to this because yesterday we only had like a 10-minute break in between all 3 games. That's gonna be a single, maybe two. No, just a single. Smart Rain did not go for it. Well, they've gone past India's all-out 36, by the way. I admit. But yeah, I was wondering what to do for that hour. I really was. I knew you were going to drag up Guernsey versus Scotland then. Daniel, it's always going to be the case. Jersey is the greatest. I need a shirt that says Jersey is my goat. I need it. I need to. We do have some merchandise for all the different big nations. I do need to finish off the associate nations, but I need to get like a Jersey is my goat. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. It's not going to get to me in time for this World Cup though, so the joke will be over. But Jersey will always be my goat. It'll always have a special place in my heart. That's going to be a dot ball. Seb Watson says 7 ducks in that Ivory Coast, 7 all out, incredible scenes. Wait, Zimbabwe played the Ivory Coast? And they got 7 ducks in that? Is that what you're saying? Jeez. I can't believe that Gambia was used as a reference, though. It's a big score to win by, though, but it's against the Gambia. We single. Raza bowling well here. Economy of about 3.5. It was Nigeria. Oh, it was Nigeria versus Ivory Coast. Is that what you're saying? Oh, sorry. Seb Watson said lowest ever score was 7 all out Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. 7 all out. Wow. Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. So I didn't see your comment. That'll be a single for Sufyan. He'll be on 13. Well, Jacko, you just got to hope that the Omanis can have a miracle and get through these last 9 overs. The score is going to be really low, and Zimbabwe will punch through it quickly, but you just got to hope this game goes for at least another hour and a half. You'll have that 15-minute break and the innings break regardless. You just really hope this game goes for at least another hour and 20, hour and 30. So Jersey's not a country, Kraken. It's a part of England, but it's like a sovereign country like Hong Kong in a lot of ways. Ardian says Oman batting is so good, 40 for 5. No, it's spectacular stuff. I love Ahmedabad Stadium, eh? I'm really keen for that South Africa Canada game. I love it. Maybe it's my bias as an Australian with Travis Head slapping him around at Ahmedabad, but I do think it's a nice stadium. That's a nice little sweeper out the back for a 4. Okay, now they're moving. Sufyan with a 4 to make it 47 for 5. We need to see an Africa T20 vlog in 2028. Well, I will be in Africa around then. I will. T20 vlog, now we're talking. I've done a couple of T20 vlogs in the BBL back in the day. I actually used to, well, the Brisbane Heat were giving me free tickets. Now we were doing a few things together back in the day. But then I went away from cricket for a little bit. Well, that was just like vlogs and stuff, though. Like, that wasn't... I never did streams back then. That was well before I started streaming. But no, we did a bit of work with the Brisbane Heat. Also the Sydney Kings in the NBL. Imagine chasing 7. What a hard chase. Would have been tricky. Would have been tricky because you would have thought it was an easy win, but England would have made it hard. England would have made that really hard for themselves. Yeah, that Ahmedabad Stadium looks empty with 100k people in it. Well, apparently Vietnam is building a bigger stadium than that in Hanoi. They're building a 135,000-seater stadium in Hanoi. Ahmedabad Stadium capacity, I think, is 130. It is 132, yeah, and Hanoi in Vietnam is trying to build a 135,000-seater stadium. Ivory Coast was chasing. Oh, the Ivory Coast was chasing. So what were they chasing? What was Nigeria's score? What were they chasing? Oh, Nigeria put up 271 for 4. You know what? I reckon Ivory Coast have just said, screw this, man. Oh, big shot, but is that an out? No, it's a 6. No, it's a 4. Just dropped in before the boundary by about this much. But at least they're getting some runs on the board here. They get past the 50, which we thought was going to be hard at one stage, and 9 runs in this over. That's 197 fours throughout the tournament so far. They will get the boundary, and it's 52 for 5 for Oman at the 11.1 over mark. North Korea, don't listen to anything that North Korea says, Potato Dragon. Don't listen to anything they say. Yeah, Ivory Coast have just said, screw this, mate. We're going to go out here and we're just going to... Oh, that's going to be another 4 here. Viniak with a boundary. Bennett is getting whacked around. 4, 8, 12, 13 runs in this over. He only got 1 run in his first over. It's given up 13 in this second over. Ivory Coast versus the Gambia might be the greatest game of all time, Potato Dragon. That would be the one that would stop the world. That would be the game that stops the entire globe. Everyone would know where they were when Ivory Coast played the Gambia in a T20 game. Everyone. And that's a 4 again from Viniak. Whoa! Viniak with a couple of 4s. He got 4 4s in that over. 4, 1, dot ball, 4, 4, 4. That's 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 runs in that over. Bennett gave up 1 in his first and 17 in his second. All right, runs are now coming. We'll get them next time, lads. Only 264 runs off. Mate, they were close enough. You know, there's a lot of positivity to take there. They got 7 more runs than you did. 7 more runs than the English did that day. They got 7 more runs than Australia did that day. They actually got 7 more runs than Australia, England, India, South Africa, and New Zealand all combined did that day. And that's really impressive. That's not something you can say much. It's not something you can say much at all. It was close. So massive, look at that. Like the highest over was 8 in the 10th over. Outside of that, it's been really depressing stuff. But that last over of 17, massive. Surely they get 100. I don't know if surely is the right word we use here, Jacko. Raza comes back in for a bowl. He's 1 for 8 through 2 overs. Sikandar Raza. Zimbabwe need to keep pushing through here. It would be so disappointing for them, considering how strong their start was. It would actually be disappointing for them to give up 100, considering where they were. But as long as they definitely keep them under like 140, considering. Could Oman beat New South Wales Schoolboys? Unfortunately, no, bro. I don't think so. Maybe school. No, I don't. Well. Oh, that's a big shot, and it will be a 4. That will touch the boundary. I think I might be disrespecting them there a little bit, but Schoolboys, yes, I think they beat them. If it came to like an Australia B team, no, like it'd be a good game, I reckon. It would be a good game. I think this touches the boundary here. This is close. Evans stops it from going for the 4, but then it just keeps rolling after it hits him. I do feel like it's going to touch there. Yeah, that's touched for sure. It's stopped in its place because it's currently on the boundary. That's a 4. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, maybe not. Oh, dude, it's off by like this much. It's not going to be a 4. Good fielding to stop that. Yeah, so it'll only be 2 runs. 120 would be a little competitive score if they bowl well. Zimbabwe put 180 past them the other day, 186 past them in the World Cup warm-up match. They're going to go for a 2-zy. No, they will just get the single. Aussie under-19s versus Oman. I would back in Australia under-19s. I would. And I'm sorry if that's disrespectful to Oman, but I would. And I'd say the same thing about England and India and all these nations. They're not getting 120. You say that, but they've gotten quite a lot of boundaries in that last over. They've hit 4 runs past Raza. It seems like it's opening up a little bit. I don't think they get 120, but it's not like it's out of control. They've still got 7.2 overs. Give 1 second here. Still got plenty of balls to face, and that's going to be smashed up to just a single though, just a single. 26 for Viniak, 20 for Sufyan. Luckily, these guys have been able to do something. I'll just let you know the English. No, I saw that defeated the Aussie under-19 World Cup semis. That was ODI though, wasn't it? That was ODI? LB dot ball. Zim is experienced team. They had beaten us in 2024 in T20 series first game. Yeah, I said that before. Yeah, they won over India in the first game, but the 4 other games were a annihilation from India. But the first game, Zimbabwe shocked them for sure. That's the end of the over. At least a tiny bit of respect is coming back into the game. Yes, that was ODI. You know, I know about that. Didn't India? I think the young lad from India crushed England in the final, though, didn't they? I think India won that under 19s ODI. I think they crushed it. Yeah, look at that scorecard. Muzarabani, Ngarava, Muzarabani, Raza. I think Muzarabani's only got one more over left. They'll probably leave him for late. Run rate of 5 currently. 7 overs left, and Masakadza comes in. Oh, it's gone. That's LB. That's LB. That's LB. Oh, I'd be reviewing this. They're all. I know he's shaking his head. The umpire he's saying no. Must be going down. Yeah, I've heard 14 years old. I've heard 15. Yeah, I heard his age is quite debatable though, Ibrahim, which is an interesting thought. They don't review it, by the way. I want to see this again though. It's a big swing for a dot ball. I want to see the replay, but because Masakadza is a bowler who bowls pretty quick. Oh, dude, I thought that was out. I thought that should have been reviewed. That replay that I just saw looked like that should have been reviewed. India feels comfortable against England mostly. Even in our worst test phase, we had drawn series against them at home. That is true. That is true, but England, for some reason, think they're the greatest test team of all time. Don't know what they've got to back that up, though. No one's going to be there. Fielding placement, not spectacular there. That'll end up being a single. Great catch chance there, but this is... Okay, here we go. They're going to show us again. Oh, dude, you had to review that. That's plum, bro. That was one. They just showed it on the ball tracker. That was plum. That was 100% gone. I was right. It was 100% out. If the bowler had just had a little bit of faith in himself, it was 100% out. That's a single for Sufyan. He'll be on 22. You have to review that, bro. You got 2 reviews. You break this partnership. I don't know what the ump was looking at there, Jacko. That was absolutely plum. The bowler, but the thing is that Sikandar Raza looked at his bowler to see what his thoughts were, and he shook his head. I don't understand. You can't get more plum than that was. Like, that was just a straight up easy call. It was. It was just a straight up easy call that they missed. That's going to be a single. So not a bad over there from Masakaza, but a massive missed opportunity at a wicket. And that's going to be a drinks break now at the 14 over mark. 69 for 5. Hit that like button and subscribe. Massive missed opportunity for Zimbabwe. Massive. Would have been six wickets. But instead, they've still got this partnership here in play. I think everyone feels comfortable against England, are you? I think everyone. Definitely us. Oh, we definitely do. Oh my gosh, if I'm thinking about Australia versus England right now, I'm putting my feet up and putting my arms behind, just kicking back on the beach in Bali watching it, you know, just enjoying the serenity. Playing England. Oh my gosh. Who are they? Who is she? England, who is she? Like I said, just came back. Geez, that looks poor from Oman before these current 2 batters. Oh, dude, this was ridiculous. Before these 2 batters, it was like 4 wickets for less than 20. It was outrageous. It was 4 for like 13 or something maybe. But at least Mahmood and Vinayak, Sufyan and Vinayak have gotten some decent runs here. But again, Zimbabwe missed a massive wicket chance there by not reviewing because it was as plum as all plum. He wants to drag the game out a bit so we have less of a gap between games. Great man. I love it. Under 19 Australia could beat England. When it comes to Test cricket, I reckon we can put a couple of subscribers here on this channel together and we'd beat England. Yeah. I reckon we would. Tell under 19 Australia to beat under 19 England first. Oh, this is what we're doing. This is the level of English fans, lads. This is what we're doing here now. So we're not talking about the Ashes. We're not talking about like the men's game. Their level of banter towards us is tell the under 19s to win first. This is the depths of where you've gotten to, England. You've got Kraken using as a reply to us beating England is tell the under 19s to beat us first. That will do me. Kraken, that has done me in. You have used an under 19s ODI World Cup as a way to get back at Australia. You are drunk. You are crazy. Slagan says England just don't get cricket with a comment like just get England, just tell Australia under 19s to beat the England 19s first. That does show a lot of proof behind Lagan's comment there. Wowee. Oh no. Aren't you guys glad that Nepal didn't win yesterday? We could find a bunch of homeless guys with no arms to play against Cooper Connolly and his T20 squad. Yeah, you watched Cooper Connolly come out on Wednesday against Ireland and put 300 past him. Probably won't play, but if he does, might be 300 from him alone. Only good English athlete is Eddie Hall, and he's juiced to the gills. So Ngarava will come in for his third over. He's only given up 7 runs with the 1 wicket. I could do some nice innings against England. I made 50 in a T10 match in India that was played on a soccer pitch. I don't know how that comment existed, but it happened. 50 in a T10 match in India. Where did India... Oh, he's gone! Vinayak is gone. Ngarava is having a good game here. 2 for 7 through 2.1. And Vinayak is off and in the showers at 28. It's 69 for 6. Good number there. 14.1. 14.1. Yeah, the supposed 14-year-old hadn't aged in 2 years, according to the IPL. Yeah, I know there was a lot of questions being asked about his legitimate age. There were so many comments saying, I swear this kid's been 14 for like 10 years. The thought that England's greatest prospect right now is a self-admitted vaping Eshay-looking bloke. That's a pinned comment. That's a pinned comment right there from Logan. Well done. Well done. A self-admitted vaping Eshay-looking bloke. Much needed wicket for Zimbabwe. They really needed it, man. They could have had it in the last over, but they chose not to review. At least I'll get this one. I did say 125 will be the score. Yeah, I think you'll be wrong though, Shauno, because they're still going to struggle to get to 100. 31 runs. They've gone past their 6 best batters, so they've still got Sufyan here. If you get Sufyan out, they'll be lucky to get a hunch. Look at me moving up in society, mate. It's unbelievable stuff. I think you need like a badge of honour or something. No, debatable, Iriam. I don't know if he's learnt much. Don't know if he's learnt much. Next bowl from Ngarava. And that will be a single. Yeah, just a single. G10 on 1. 70 for 6. Now 125 is ambitious, Shauno. That's very ambitious right now. Especially when they've still got this. They've got this over and another over of Ngarava. I think they've got another over of Raza. And they've got another over of Musabarani. So they've got some pretty tough bowlers to face. I did say it'd be a miracle if they got through the 20. Well, they're 5.4 overs away from it. And big swing, big miss. If you're swinging at things like that, you're going to get out pretty quickly. Maybe the ball sack is not lagging as much since the colour change in the name. Yeah, finally. Finally might have gotten a half a clue about a half a clue. Not a full clue about a half a clue or a full clue about a full clue, but just a half a clue. About the half of a clue, which means it's a quarter of a clue, and that's generous. But, you know, I'm a generous man. I am. I'm a generous man. Give me 1 sec. And we are back. And they will get a single from it. Imagine Mitch Stark versus Oman. You're going to give me nightmares, let alone Omani nightmares. That is terrifying. Highest wicket taker for Zimbabwe in T20I since 2024 is actually Richard Ngarava. I think the Zimbabwean flag is better than the Oman flag. Well, I'm not going to disrespect flag, man. I don't like to do that. I do love the Zimbabwe flag, but I'm not here to disrespect anyone's country. Just like I wouldn't appreciate someone saying they didn't like Australia's flag. So Ngarava, next bowl, and that is going to be a dot ball. How many times do I need to say it, how generous a man can be? I don't know, man. I do my best, you know. I do my best. You know, I get these English men here, they're really mean to me. Really mean. I'm just sitting here watching some cricket and they're just so mean. They just keep talking about a Australian A team going to Pakistan and losing a series that didn't even happen. You know, they're making shit up. They're making stuff up. And it's really rude, but I'm a generous and compassionate man. Australian flag is the greatest flag. It's the greatest flag of all time. Next bowl. Ngarava. And that's up in the air. And that is gone. G10 is gone. Ngarava gets his third wicket. 3 for 9 through 2.5. Made that through 3. He's still got another over. And that's a big old wicket there. Ngarava, 3 for 9. 71 for 7 for the Omanis. 15 overs gone. It's... Sean, I think I'm right about them struggling to get to the 100. I think 125 is very generous and ambitious. Very, very ambitious. The old 125 right now. Yeah, I don't know where we are right now, Ibrahim, with lag and saying some things that actually make sense. Interesting times in the world. Society's obviously changing. Jiten Ramanandi out for 1. Zimbabwe coming back. Dude, they're on. I actually look forward to their game against Sri Lanka and look forward to their game against Australia. Again, for Australians, this is our group. Zimbabwe are in the same group as Australia, Sri Lanka, Oman, and also Ireland. They'll struggle to get 85. It's not a bad shout. They are currently on 71. They still need 14 runs for that. And they've only got 3 wickets left. 7 for 71. Yikes. This is about to be the lowest score of the World Cup, you would assume. At least they've still got Sufyan there, but... Nadeem Khan, you need to be Glenn Maxwell against Afghanistan in 2023. Strike rate 138, average of 31 at least. Best is 30, but his average, who's that against? It's not against the might of Sikandar Raza. It's not against the might of Musabarani. It's not against the absolute might of Ngarava. Come on. Not against these guys. He's not going up against the greatest bowlers of a generation. Yeah, all these short balls are just crushing the Omanis. If I'm Australia, though, I'm noticing all the short balls. There's no way that you're not preparing for short. And they finally go for a bit more of a longer bowl, and it's going to be a single. So the highest total so far last game, the lowest this game. Yeah, 207 has been clearly the highest so far in this tournament. And currently speaking, this is well and truly the lowest. I think the other lowest would have been the 135 from Scotland against West Indies. Oh, because what did Italy get? What did Italy end up getting? So Italy got 134. So actually, I think Italy had the lowest score. So the last game had the highest score and the lowest score as well. I'll let Moses, you can deal with Jacko with that one, mate. You can deal with Jacko and his Sikandar Raza slander. I'll let you do that one. Next bowl will be a dot ball. So Italy 134, Ireland 143. No, USA was 132, but that's real harsh. That's real harsh, but USA do have the lowest score of this. That is so harsh to say, but USA do have the lowest score of the World Cup so far with 132. So you'd nearly hope that Oman gets less than 132 so that gets taken away from the Americans. 4.74 in the run rate. Only 3 wickets in hand, though. Can they get to the hungy? Who's backing him in for a hunge? Who thinks they get the horny hunge? Raza. Oh, he's gone. That's LB. See you later. Sufyan is gone. Sikandar Raza will get a wicket, but they are going to review it. I think he's as good as gone here. Yeah, you tell him, Moses. Raza is world class. Don't worry, Jacko's just English. He's just salty. He's just a salty, salty Englishman. He's just a salty, salty Englishman. He's still trying to recover from the Ashes, unfortunately. We try to help him. I do my best to try and help the man, but it just never works. Unless he's saying this hits his glove or his bat, which I don't think it did. Oh no, it does. It hits his glove. Yeah, no, that's off the glove. It's actually not going to be a wicket. No, he's right. He's right. Lagan says, who would you say is next to beat Scotland's score? New Zealand against UAE, or maybe the next game? It's so hard to read because we've seen some of these big-time teams not getting these massive scores against these minnow nations. I'll go and have a look. Yeah, so change to the original decision. So, yeah, so not out. So, the next game... No, I feel like South Africa, Canada tonight might be interesting. Netherlands, Namibia, New Zealand, UAE. New Zealand should be getting 200. Like, UAE is definitely a different caliber below. Sri Lanka, Oman is a shout. Sri Lanka could get 200 there, even though Sri Lanka don't look amazing. But Oman, let's see their bowling first, to be fair. Nepal, if they play the way they did against England, could do it against Italy. With the Italians bowling was awful today. India versus Namibia. If India don't get 200, we're cancelling the tournament and we're going and we're sleeping the night in Antarctica with the Penguins, India, and you're going economy. Like dead set, if you don't score 200 versus Namibia, you're done. We're signed, sealed, and delivered. The tournament's over. You've ruined our day. You've ruined our week. You've ruined our year. You've ruined our life. You're off to Antarctica, and you'll never see the light of day again if you don't score 200 versus Namibia. That is a single for Nadeem Khan. He'll be on 3. Wendy's to flog the Poms. Is there also that option too, Nate? Yeah, West Indies should get 200 against England. No, Jack would never talk bad about blessing Muzarabani. No way. Grant and Andy Flowers are the goats of Zimbabwe cricket. What's this about salty English? Here we go. Here's another one. Here they are. Here they are. New Zealand, just because they've already had their first game. UAE, like, we'll be live for it all tomorrow, but UAE is a great chance of them getting 2. Oh, that's a big shot, but it's out of the boundary, and he is gone. He went for a 6, but this time Sufyan, he can't review this one because he is gone on the boundary. And it is 76 for 8 with 2 more wickets in hand, 3.4 overs to bowl. I don't think they'll get through it, though. Evans picks up the wicket. He just thought he could smash that one. He does get a good connection behind it, but it's not enough power behind it, and he's caught on the boundary. See you later. Poetic justice if India screw up like that. I'm just really hoping this boycott gets overturned and the Pakistanis decide to play that game on Sunday. Can you imagine how much fun that will be, watching India-Pakistan on Sunday? Oh, be a belter. Be an absolute belter. And we won't have any NRL that interrupts it. Be great. Come on, Pakistan. Just play it. Evans 1 for 5 through 2.2. The economy under 2.5 right now. Wowee. Shakil Ahmad in for Oman. Nadeem Khan 3 from 4. Shakil, first ball to come. No, Chris, like, I know you're not, and I know Jack's not, but just in general, I know you're not salty, but I'm also going to call you salty because I can. But I know you're not like the typical breed that we do come across on a regular occasion who tip England to win 5-0 in Australia. Paul says, with the amount of over-the-top celebrations in India versus... Paul, we're going to tie out for 5 minutes, bro. We've had enough of this same old, eh? Like, you've got to move on from yesterday. You've got to move on from that celebration conversation from yesterday. You've got to move on, Paul. Come on. Come on, mate. Like, seriously. You're still going on about this celebration talk. Yeah, Griff, man. He's still. You're going to get taught a lesson here with the 5-minute timeout. For the love of God, move on from yesterday. Oh my gosh. Chris says, I fully understand to call you names too. No, you will never call me name because we're the great. We are the GOAT. Australia is the GOAT. Roses are red, violets are blue. England wrote Bazball. Australia wrote 4-1-2. Well, we usually do write 4-0 or 5-0, so, at least it's a massively successful series for England, winning one game of 5. Up in the air, but it will be clipped in behind to the boundary for a 4. Paul versus Nepal. Dude, this guy hates Nepal, eh? Like, Paul must really despise the country of Nepal. This guy is still saying that England should have celebrated in the faces of Nepal. He's still saying that the English should have shoved a celebration into the faces of an associate nation that is Nepal. He must. What have you gone to Nepal and you've gotten sick or something from the food there? I don't know what's happened here, Paul, but like it's going to be okay. Nepal, they're okay, mate. I don't know what has happened, but something's clearly happened with Paul and Nepal. Moses says Raza's number 2 on the men's T20I all-rounder rankings. He better bring it with the batting. Is he really? I haven't even been looking at this. Number 2 is crazy. Yeah, wow. Sikandar Raza is number 2 all-rounder in the entire ICC T20. Number 1 is Saeem Ayub. Number 3 is Hardik Pandya. 4, Mohammad Nawaz. 5 is Roshan Chase from West Indies. 6 is Nepal, Dipendra Sinjari. Afghanistan is Azmatullah Omazai and Mohammad Nabi. Shivam Dubey from India, and then Romario Shepherd from the West Indies. Marcus Stoinis is out first from Australia, who's in 15th. Mitchell Santner from New Zealand in 14th. And when you look at that, Jersey's there with 10 players in the top 10. I was looking at 12 for Zimbabwe. Jersey has the top 10. Lagan says, Paul, you won't make first grade throwing that you won't make first grade throwing that sort of out the back shape. Wake up, son. You can make Origin, just cut that shit out. There's a little bit all over the shop, that comment, but fair play. Nate says, Paul's dad is a Nepalese monk. But why does Paul hate Nepal so much? That's all I'm asking. What has Nepal ever done? What have they done? I love Nepal, Potato. We all love Nepal, but Paul yesterday, he wanted England to celebrate like crazy in the face. He wanted them to take their shirt off and throw it around after the wickets. An associate nation. And that's going to be knocked in behind for a single. Cut the errors out. So Muzara Barney is bowling. He's 3 for 12 through 3.2. Had a very good day here. I don't know if Paul could climb Mount Everest. I reckon he's banned from Nepal. Something dodgy's happened when he's gone and visited Nepal. And now he's probably banned and he's taken it out on him. Maybe he tried to get a helicopter up to base camp. Next bowl. Swing and a miss. 17.3 overs bowled. Jacko says, come on, Mum, play the 420. Well, it might be the case here. There's only 15 balls left. Paul's mother-in-law is Nepalese. I just can't believe how much the guy despises Nepal. They're such good people. Next ball. And that's going to be a dot ball. Mr. Athazi says, hey, BK, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Just curious why you're streaming these T20 cricket matches. I thought you predominantly only stream rugby league matches. I'm new to the channel. So this is pretty new to the channel, me streaming all these. And by the way, it's not disrespectful. We are rugby league centric, and rugby league still takes priority. So, for example, we will miss a brief amount, like maybe 3-4 T20 matches in this World Cup because I will be prioritising the NRL preseason. But I do love cricket as well, and we are streaming consistently for cricket as well. So, yeah, we'll be live for all the preseason games of the NRL this weekend, mate. all 9 games. Saturday's going to be brutal with 4 straight NRL preseason games. But cricket is now an addition to the channel, so we have a lot more going on. And yeah, it's not just the old rugby league. So this T20 World Cup will take up a lot of what February is, alongside the preseason. And then it will finish on the 8th of March, I think it is. And then from there, we'll still be streaming cricket when it's on, but it won't be as crazy because you have to wait for ODIs and you have to wait for Test cricket and you have to wait for different T20s when they are on. So no, it's a major part of the channel, but NRL is still the priority here. Cricket will never be streamed over the top of an NRL game, but it is a major part of the channel now. Lagan says Nepalese people are really nice too. That's the funny thing. They're great people. Thanks, Bo. What happened to the AFL streams? Bro, that was like 5 years ago. You can't do NRL and AFL, man, because then you can't prioritise. You can't do them. They're both on at the same time. 17.5 overs in, 87 from 8. 87 from 8. And also, by doing cricket, it means that there's no off-season. So there's always content on this channel. When I was only doing rugby league, the months of October through to February were dormant. So, and I always want progression. I always want to have something to do. It feels weird going through those months with nothing to do in regards to streams and all that type of stuff. So it's good to have another sport on the channel on a consistent basis. That's up in the air. That's up in the air. Chill. Just before the field RB single. Will you only stream Australia ODIs and tests? No, it'll be the same thing that we saw before, Jacko. I'll still be streaming all different teams and matches. All different teams and matches. I wouldn't be this hectic in regards to the Cricket World Cup streaming games like this if I wasn't going to be consistent overall with cricket going forward. Nepal did nothing to deserve this. Paul, he's just an angry man at the country of Nepal. Paul versus Nepal. It's a running rivalry. Might be as big as India versus Pakistan. It might be. Zimbabwe won 3 matches in 2022, which is their best performance. Won 8, lost 11, 20 matches in the T20 World Cup. That's actually pretty good. They won 3 matches in 2022 in the World Cup. 42.1% of win rate at World Cups. 88 for 8 through 18. Got 2 overs to go here. Ngarava with his final over. He's 3 for 9. That's going to be a dot ball. 3 for 9 through 3.1. So he's on a 3 economy, just under 3 economy now with that dot ball. He's been very good. They've all been very good. But you're probably going to get lucky here, Jacko. We're probably going to see Oman get through these 20 overs. Yeah, Mario Shepherd's still the one with the only 5. That's a 6, is it? It's out in the boundary. Yeah, it is a 6. Jersey versus Nepal could fill the MCG. That'd be a big game for Nepal. But that's a 6 off of Ngarava. Nadeem Khan whacks him. Tournament 6 is 94. 94 sixes we have seen. And that is smacked on side for a big old 6-er-uno. 78 metres. Who is that in the crowd? Is that Oman fans? Or is that Zimbabwe fans? I feel like that must be Oman fans. Well, that noise is coming from Zimbabwe fans. Next ball. Swing will be a... direct hit probably got him out there, but it will be a single. 95 for 8. Can they get 5 runs in 9 balls? It's not a guarantee. They've only got 2 wickets in hand. But can they get to 100? But can they get to 120? That would be a little bit of a confidence booster considering the beginning. No, if it was a direct hit, he still would have been safe. I honestly did not think Oman would have batted the whole innings or even get to 100. No, I agree. Again, they were like 4 wickets down and 13 runs. It's not been as dominant for Zimbabwe from that 4th, 5th over onwards. The power play was very successful for Zimbabwe. Outside of that, Oman have been pretty fine. Fourth ball from Garava. Ooh, that was a weird ball. Really slowed down. That's going to end up being maybe 2. Yeah, misfield. Should have been 2, but it will be a single. Should have been. Yeah, they're going to get through the full 20. But it just depends on how long Zimbabwe bowl, because we've still got Zimbabwe bat, because we've still got 2 hours and 15 minutes until we start up the next stream in South Africa versus Canada. But there will be a 15-minute break as they do switch the innings. $18.4 down. Swing and a miss. 18.5 down. 8 runs off the over so far. What has Stephen Crichton got to do with anything? Have I missed a comment here? Have I missed a comment? Why is Stephen Crichton getting mentioned? I don't think I did miss a comment. I don't think I did. Logan, why are you saying Stephen Crichton? You okay? Last ball. Swing and a miss. So one more over to go here. It's 96 for 8. They need 4 runs off of the last over to get to 100. 4 runs. Come on. Just get to the 100. Just get it done. You're obviously going to have the lowest score of the T20 World Cup so far, but just get to the 100. Potato says blessing Muzarabani. Unbelievable stuff from him today. Tourette's, I think, probably is, Nath. But Muzarabani, Sikandar Raza, Ngarava, been very, very good. And also I just realised I've got to scroll this scorecard down. Scroll it down to there, so at least you can see Shah Faisal, who is in as the last man in. Starts it off with 2 ducks based off that now. Paulson, I wouldn't count Oman out as bad as they appear to be. When I was watching Zimbabwe over the last 6 months, they relied on Raza heavily to carry the team. If he goes out cheaply, who knows? Sure, but Zimbabwe did get 186. I know Oman got 187 in the chase in the warm-up match. Oh, he's bowled him! Oh, Evans has bowled him. He's been good too. Evans has been great. That's 2 for 11 through 3.1. His economy is fantastic right now. And those 2 wickets are massive. Bowled him straight. Shaquille is gone. They've got 1 wicket in hand with 5 balls remaining. No, I think Zimbabwe are going to clean through this. I think they are, but it's cricket. Anything can happen, mate. Oman did beat them in that World Cup warm-up match. However, I do think this has been great bowling from Zimbabwe. It'll be disastrous if Zimbabwe don't chase less than 100. Disastrous. Get around your Carl. Well, Potato, you should just if you don't see me scroll the scorecard, remind me to scroll it down. That's what Jay usually does, but I know he's busy today. They've got 3 players in the T20I batting rankings in the top 100. Zimbabwe. For example, the first one is Sikandar. Oh no, that's Sikandar Raza in the batting. He's 60, and then the next player in the batting is Ryan Burl at 84. Or so maybe 2, unless I've missed a player. Maybe 2. Look at Shaquille Ahmed. What a unit. Big unit. Faisal. There is 5 balls remaining. Can they get through? Up in the air. And that is going to go straight back for a 4. So they will get to the 100. 100 for 9. They will get to 100. What a win for City, Carl. Unbelievable stuff, isn't it? Unbelievable. Also, how did they not give that goal? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But that does hit the 100 for Oman. It'd be really beautiful to see a wicket now, just so it stays cleanly at 100, all out 100. Well, it's been a nice force to grow up, mate, for this stream. Crazy stuff, Carl. Could you imagine if that was like for the win? Like if that was 1-1 at that point. And that's been put up in the air, but it'll be singles. It'll be 101 for 9 with 3 balls left. Oman could beat England. Oman would beat England, Logan. Would beat England. Yeah, he just smashed that onto his stumps. 2 balls remaining. At least they've gotten past 100. At least. Didn't benefit anyone read the game. Yeah. Lowest totals versus Zimbabwe. UAE got 116 for 9 in 2014 against Zimbabwe. So this is about to break a Zimbabwean record as the best bowling that they've had in a T20 World Cup game. Oh, you are a goose. You are a goose. You are a goose. Jacker said, how about Logan? Oman have now outscored Australia in their last match. You are a goose. Next bowl. Oh, please let Australia play England, man. Please. It'd be so fire on this channel, this T20. And that will be... Oh, they get 2 runs out of it. And there's a... They've run into each other at the striker's end. It'll be 2 runs, though. 103 for 9. Close to a run out. Ibrahim says, who wouldn't beat England? Chris says Nepal. Yeah, it's a good glow. That's a massive glow. Don't worry, Paul will jump in with you. He'll celebrate with you. I'd actually like you to be right, though, Paul, in regards to this game being interesting and Oman keeping Zimbabwe honest. Oh, that is up in the air, and that is amazing catch. Brian Bennett, that is the catch of the World Cup so far. That is the catch of the World Cup so far from Brian Bennett. Wow. So, Jacko, they didn't get through the full 20 overs. They got through 19.5. That is the catch of the World Cup so far. USA, look at that and weep. Your catching needs improvement. Well, Zimbabwe can teach you because Brian Bennett has just taken an absolute screamer. An absolute screamer. Look at this. He's full out stretch. Bang. See you later. He is gone. That is not easy to do. That is not easy to do as well. If you're USA, get Zimbabwe to teach you how to catch because that was spectacular. So, they will finish up the Omani innings with an all out for 103. So, Zimbabwe don't have much to chase. They should be winning this game. But if you look at the batting rankings, again, they do have... Brian Bennett is number 21 ranked best batter in the world. So I forgot to mention Brian Bennett before. So Brian Bennett is ranked number 21 on the ICC rankings for T20I batting. And then you've also got Sikandar Raza, who is at 60. And then you've also got... you've also got, all the way down here, where is he? Oh, there we go, Ryan Burl. You've also got Ryan Burl, who is there at 84. So at least they've got 3 batters here in the top 100 across the world. I just want to make sure. So Ryan Burl, yeah, he is playing. Sorry, I didn't see him before. Ryan Burl is here. So they do have 3 batters in the top 100. They should do this in quite light work, really. It is only a 100 chase. It is only a 100 chase. Letitia says, hey man, where can I hear your take on the Payne Haas signing? Sorry to ask on Cricket Stream. So I was going to put a video out this morning, but it's just been so hectic. It really has been. It's been so hectic with all these cricket streams. We'll obviously talk in depth about it on the Titans vs Dolphins live stream on Thursday. Also, feel free to shoot a comment through on a cricket stream. It's fine, especially for such big news like that. But we'll talk a lot more in depth about it on Thursday on the live stream. And I might put something out on my Instagram later on too for tomorrow morning. Just because I was going to put that video out, but I need sleep. We did 12 hours straight of live streaming yesterday. We're going to do pretty much the same 12 hours live stream cricket today, and same for tomorrow and whatnot before we do get that rugby league game. So, yeah, no, completely fine in regards to asking the question on a cricket stream. But overall, massive signing, just absolutely huge. And then also to be hit with the double whammy of Adam Reynolds deciding to retire at the end of this year is huge. But... Yeah, actually, you know what? You could. We'll talk a little bit. We can talk a little bit about it in maybe 15 minutes time. I'm going to take my break because there's about 10 minutes until we do get back for the Zimbabwe batting. Yeah, we do love talking about rugby on here, Carl, because you know what? We are actually predominantly a rugby league channel. we are, even though we are doing a lot more cricket as well. But massive bowling there from Muzabarani, massive bowling from Garava, and also massive bowling from Sikandar Razar. Fantastic overall, and we also saw some great bowling from Brad Evans. So there we go. Zimbabwe chasing 104 to win this game. Guys, I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'll be back in just a few moments. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Going to have a bit of a stretch, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Daz, mate, you want to start, do you? You want to start, do you? You had a good day? You had a good day, Daz? We are back for the Zimbabwe chase of just a measly 104 runs to win. That's all they need. Fantastic bowling from Ngarava, also from Muzabarani, also from Brad Evans and Sikandar Raza. Tasmate said shush. Yeah, look, fair enough. This should be a clean chase from Zimbabwe. They should be able to get this job done. They do have some good batting. They've got the 21st best ranked batter in the world in Brian Bennett in T20I. They've also got Sikandar Raza, who is down there at 60, and they've also got another batter in Ryan Burl at 84. So they should be able to do this, despite the fact they lost that World Cup match to Oman just a few days ago. It's looking like this should be the day. And Tadewanashi Marumani is going to be opening up the batting. He is going to be here. I will update this scorecard in just a few moments. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Let me know if you think Oman are a chance here. Let me know if you think there is an opportunity for them. I think I've just seen an update. Yeah, there we go. We can go across. Here we go. Brian Bennett and Tadewanashi Marumani are going to be the opening batters. Get schooled. Yeah, get schooled, mate. Schooled all day. There we go. All right. Let's see what you're made of in the batting for Zimbabwe, but let's see what Oman are made of when it comes to the bowling under pressure, because Zimbabwe have no pressure in regards to this run rate. There is no pressure at all. What would it be? What is the required run rate? It is a 5.20 required run rate. That's insane, bro. That is insane. I'm going to open up this window so I've got a beautiful view of Ho Chi Minh City. And let's get it underway. First ball will be probably a wide. Is that a wide or is it a dot ball? It was close. I think it's just a dot ball. Yeah, it is. Just a dot ball there. It was very close. Must have just gone inside. Brian Bennett, ranked number 21. That's really impressive for an associate nation like Zimbabwe. They are ranked in number... Where are they? They are ranked in number 12, just behind Ireland. But they are equal with Ireland, so they should be able to get over the top of them. Oh, that's going to be a single from a leg bye. I know you ain't talking Mr. Tua turn the ball over as my quarterback. Get that into ya. Tua turn the ball over. Yeah, showing that catch again in the outfield by Zimbabwe. What a catch by Brian Bennett. It's such an incredible catch. That is the catch of the tournament so far. He's not our quarterback anymore. That's Cope. Distance cover for the catch was 19 metres. He had to run a full 19 metres to fully outstretch for the dive on that catch. That was one leg bite. Faisal is bowling for Oman. It was a screamer. I'm still spewing that Glenn Phillips didn't pick up that catch in that India game, that T21. Wow, that would have been something. Big swing, big miss. Paul, I ask you, you did say that you thought Zimbabwe might struggle for this 103-run chase. Do you believe that Oman win this game? Based off of your thought process that you think that Zimbabwe don't have the batting in them, even though I would debate that with Brian Bennett and Raza. Wayne Knight's umpire standing in his 51st T20I. 3 balls down. Enjoy the loss today. Enjoy that 99 million cap cut then. Oh, by the way, Dad, I sent you a message. You got a mate. You got a friend. You got a friend who supports the Patriots with you. Oh, that's a big swing. That's gone up, and that's gone out for a 4. Good work there from Marumani. Will hit the boundary. Johnny Bairstow would have made that catch. Johnny Bairstow needs to learn how to stay in his crease, Chris. He needs to stay in the crease. Only if early wickets fall. Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, I think that one's pretty obvious. But yeah, you're right. If early wickets fall, then if there's no early wickets, then of course they're going to just clean up 103. It would be nice to see just them punch through it and have like 1 wicket, win by 9 wickets kind of deal. Zimbabwe's bowling will be spicy for a team like Sri Lanka and also for Australia. It will be spicy. It's just the just the batting against. But Australia's bowlers, you know, we're missing Paddy Cummins and also Josh Hazlewood. So we're really heavily reliant on guys like Xavier Bartlett, Adam Zampa. Who's the other player that I can't think of right now that he didn't play in the Pakistan series? I can't think of his name right now. My brain's a bit frazzled. We have been here for a while now. Who's the other bowler that I'm thinking of? He's a pace bowler. Can't think. That's going to be a single for Maramani. Or maybe two. They are going for... No. Would have been interesting to see if they went for the two. I need to get this name. It's going to annoy me unless I get it. Going to annoy me. It is Nathan Ellis is the name I'm thinking of, yeah. Nathan Ellis. No, Hazlewood's apparently out for the tournament, Jacko. So real big boost for everybody else. Hazlewood not playing, and also obviously Paddy Cummins not playing. So big loss there for Australia. So we are relying on Nathan Ellis, Adam Zampa, and also Xavier Bartlett. Like Zams is ranked number 9 on the ICC rankings. Nathan Ellis is ranked number 12. And then we've got Xavier Bartlett ranked 29. Sean Abbott, he's equal 42nd. Our Johnny, not the quickest of movers or thinkers. Definitely not the quickest of thinkers, that's for sure. Still love his Martiness, though. Great entertainment. Yeah, loved when England took him over for the Ashes. That was really good stuff. A guy that's experienced and proven and getting hundreds in Australia. Was really great selection there for Johnny Bairstow. What did he actually get in the Ashes this recent year? How many runs did Johnny Bairstow actually get? I think he got the same amount of runs as Ian Botham did in this series. That is going to be a dot ball. Good bowling there from Shaquille. Paul Zim only 1 run above the run rate. One run above the run rate. Game in the balance. Tough chase here. Real tough chase. Is Smith 100% not playing? Yes, Steve Smith is not here. Zampa is going to show his form this competition. Well, he had good form in that Pakistan series. Is that out? Oh, they all celebrated it like crazy. I didn't think it was out, but they all went crazy. Yeah, they really went up for that one. But the umpire says, shush. Here we go. Bro, that was missing by about this much. That missed the bat by a good metre. Good old metre. And they were celebrating it like it was a wicket. That's going to be nicely through for 2, maybe 4. That's a 4. It probably could have stopped that from going for the 4. So it's a bit of a misfield, but he did have to chase hard to try and get there. That will be a boundary, and they'll be on 10 from 1.3. Made the same amount of runs as Johnny. I think you did, Potato. Yeah, off the back of my mind. I think you did. Yeah, they should have been stopping that. Like, he did. It was a long run. Like, he is trying hard to get there, but he does get there. He just can't hit it back in. And that's the difference where you're going to see teams like Australia and India do. Specifically Australia. We're pretty well known for our fielding. Next ball. Good swing. That's a 4. And here they go. Maramani opening up. He's got 3 4s already. 2 4s here and hit the 4 in the first over. 13 runs for Maramani. Oman guilty of over-the-top celebrations, my new favourite team. Paul, I'm going to give you a final warning. I'm going to give you a final warning here, bro. Move on from it. It's my suggestion for you. Move on from it. We've moved on from that. Please, I'm asking you to move on from it. This is my final warning. I'm not going to time you out, but just take the advice. That's going to be slapped for a 4. Big shot there for Maramani, and he'll be on 17. Jago says, Shaquille getting the bin. Yep, well, you were telling us how good he was, and he's now given 3 4s off the last 3 balls. It is 12 runs off 0.5. 18 for nothing for Zimbabwe, and this is definitely looking like the easy chase is on. Looking like the easy chase. Easy chase is on. Thing is, I'm actually quite generous here to you, to Paul, because I know Jay would have timed you out for like 24 hours. I know he would have. I know he would have. Oh, that's up in the air. That's up in the air. That's up in the air, but that's gone a long way for a 6. Oh, no, it is a 4. It is a 1 bounce. And 16 off the over. Marmani has crushed it. It's 22 for nothing through 2. Yeah, this game's pretty much over, Paul. When Cousins through, this is the outcome. Yeah, it's looking too easy for the Zimbabweans right now. That was really high. Went out back and 1 bounce and it's over. And Zimbabwe is starting up early. Jacko, if you think this is going past like 10 overs at this point, you wish. Oh, he's built like a meatball, is what he was saying. Yeah, just wait until Bennett faces. Well, Bennett is coming on now. Paul's on his last life. He's already used his other 8. Yeah, he has used his other 8, to be fair. Bennett, next ball. And swing and a miss. He was going for a big shot there, but a swing and a miss. Faisal only got the 5 runs, though, early. So after 2.1 overs, Oman was 8 for 1. Zimbabwe is 22 for 0. I can't wait for the. I can't wait to see what it was after 4 overs on the comparison. Cannot wait. Just got to go for it here. There is no scoreboard pressure. You don't have to go for it, but you may as well set a precedent, set a statement here ahead of your games against Sri Lanka and also against Australia. Oh, that's right. I'm not able to stream that Australia-Zimbabwe game. Oh, spewing. That's the one Australia game that I miss in this tournament is the Australia versus Zimbabwe game. It's the one game I miss for Australia. I would have loved to have watched that. We'll definitely keep a close eye on it whilst we're streaming the NRL, but we'll definitely keep a close eye on that. I might have it up on a smaller screen over there. Bennett hasn't got a run yet through his first 4 balls, but he's shaping up for a big one. And that'll be another dot ball here. He's still just trying to find and get his moment. Oh, best sport. He claims to be a Patriots fan. He just sent me a message. Muppet, man, that guy. He really is. Massive Muppet. Zimbabwe, 85% in the chat. Actually, what is the English-speaking ability of Zimbabwe? Is it like a strong English contingent? Main languages of Zimbabwe. Next bolt. Big shot from Bennett. Will go for a 4. He opens his account on his 6th ball that he faced, and he gets the boundary. 26 for nothing through 2.4 with 2 balls to go here of this over. So Zimbabwe recognises 16 official languages. Shona is spoken by over 70% of the population. Ndembele, spoken by roughly 20%. And English. English serves as the lingua franca for government, business, and education. So does basically everyone speak English, like Fiji, where Fiji uses English as their big language, but everyone speaks Fijian? Moses, if you're still here, is that the case? Is like most people in Zimbabwe speak English? 78 from 104 is what's needed for Zimbabwe. Yes, we all speak English. Okay, yeah, so it's like Fiji. Oh, massive inside edge there, and that will just go past the stumps, and it will go for a 4 for Bennett. Oh, that's very lucky, but it will go to the boundary. So yeah, it's like Fiji, because Fiji, everyone speaks Fijian, but like English is, because of how heavily tourist populated Fiji is, the main language is really English, but everyone does speak Fijian, which is what I'm assuming there, because you look at the you look at the statistics and it gave us like the 70% who speak Shona or 80% who speak Shona, and then it just said English. So there was no percentage, so that's why I assumed that. 30 for nothing through 2.5. First wicket partnership, 30 off 17. Faisal, next ball. And it'll be a dot ball. So show us the comparison where... show us where Oman were at this stage. I think they were 3 wickets down. I think so. I just want to quickly look here in regards to the batting for this Canadian... The Canadians in this next game. Do they have any batting in the top 100? Because at least with America they have Saitesha Mukamala, who's actually not even playing in this tournament. Well, he didn't play in the first game anyway. But I want to see if Canada have anyone here. So at least the Americans have a few dabbled. So Canada do not have anyone in the batting. Do they have anyone in the all-rounders? Oh, this could be ugly tonight. This could be ugly. They don't have anybody in these top hundreds. Jersey have a couple of all-rounders in the top 100, by the way. I'm a big Jersey fan. I'm a massive Jersey fan. Right Hand TV says, everyone speaks English, even the uneducated ones. Okay, fair enough. So it must be like, is that... So when, like, if I just said in the government, so is that like the schooling as well? So do you... Oh, that's out. He's gone. Marmani, 21, he's gone. And Oman pick up their first wicket. He's been caught. Marmani is out. So what I'm thinking is, so do you get taught that as the main language in school? Because it's the same thing in Fiji, where the main language in school is English, which teaches the English comparatively to the Fijian. So is that the case? Jacko says they interviewed Muzarabani in the innings break and it was clear English. Yeah, so what I'm assuming, and again, this is just an assumption, but schooling is done just like the government, because the government speaks in English, so schooling must be done in English too. Okay. We were colonised by the British, so it is the language of instruction from primary school. Yeah, there you go. So I was right in regards to schooling. Comparatively to India, where they were obviously colonised by the British as well, and they still speak heavy Hindi and don't really understand much English, but they understand part of it. It's not that good. Uneducated Indians probably don't speak it, but a lot of the educated ones obviously do. But it's not like it's not forced. Like all the schooling will be through Hindi there. I love hearing and learning about stuff like that. What are like the main countries in Africa that speak the English the most? Zimbabwe's obviously there. South Africa, obviously. Because I don't know if I would have actually, unless I knew that, unless I found that out here, I wouldn't have actually known that Zimbabwe was such a strong English-speaking country. Thank you, Chris. I'm glad that English is the first language in England. Yeah, no, really appreciate that knowledge. Yeah, that's huge. That's going to be a dot ball there. So 30 for 1 through 3.2. I'm really appreciative of that. I know you English do struggle with English from time to time, just like you struggle with your inventing of games and not being good at them. But I'm glad to hear that English is the main spoken language in England. Yeah, for Egypt. Is Egypt predominantly English too? I'm actually going to Google this as well. Next ball from Sufyan. Oh my gosh, is he out? They're going to ask to review this. He's asking to review Myers. They are reviewing this. No way. Zimbabwe, you can't collapse this. When I was in India, I can understand the people who speak English very clear, but the ones that know very little was extremely hard. Well, yeah. I can understand the people who speak English very clear. Well, okay. But the ones that know very little was extremely hard, of course. I don't think he hit that bat. I don't think the ball hit the bat. But this wicketkeeper is so sure that this is out. He's so sure that the ball hits the bat. He was demanding they review this. He's out. Yeah. He has hit it. He has hit it. And this is 2 wickets down for Zimbabwe. What is happening to these batters? Paul, come back. Game's not over yet. 30 for 2 through 3.2. Sufyan picks up 2 wickets in 3 balls. This is... And this is a good catch too, but The wicket keeper was adamant that that was a wicket. He was adamant, and he gets it. I found that the English spoken in Udaipur was a lot more than what I found when I was in Delhi and Agra. Agra, not much at all. Delhi was in parts, depending on where you were. Jaipur was okay. Jaipur wasn't too bad. But now Taylor comes in. Zimbabwe, they need to get through this tough little period right now. Sean says, Scouse is very hard to understand. Liverpool sound like they're singing, and south of London is yuppies. You're a yuppie, Jacko. Tell you that. Sean's just slapped you. You're a yuppie. The next bolt. Brendan Taylor, average of 23.7 in his T20I career. Great over from Sufyan right now. And that will be maybe a misfield for a single. Did they get a single out of this? Moses says Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, Ghana. Okay, Zambia, Ghana, Nigeria. Most countries in Africa. Countries like Mali and Senegal are French-speaking, and Mozambique. Okay, so basically, whoever colonized originally, because this isn't the case for every single country, right? Like, for example, Vietnam was colonized by France at one stage, and there's not really any French speakers here. 1 second, next ball will be a dot ball. And there are countries around the world that have been colonized, again, like India, that still don't speak it. That is interesting in regards to places like Zambia and Ghana. I never would have expected that. Mozambique and Angola are Portuguese, yeah. I did know about Mali and Senegal, though. Us Aussies mostly speak Aussie, by the way. This is actually a very interesting thought process, Lagan, because Australian English is very different. It is different to American English. It's similar enough to the English. That's going to be a single there. 31 for 2. I can't believe they're making this a more difficult chase than it should have been. Hyderabad was good. I didn't talk much in Delhi. I was only there for one night. Yeah, I was in Delhi for about 3 weeks. I think if you're in the main central hubs, that you're going to have a better chance of running into some form of English. But if you're outside of it, for example, Agra, if you're at the Taj, you're going to have a good chance of speaking English with somebody. But if you're outside of it, where I was a couple of kilometres away from the Taj in Agra, staying at an Airbnb, mate, the English was diabolical. And I don't expect it. When I'm in your country, it's my responsibility to know your language. It's not your responsibility to know my language as a person travelling to a country. So I'm not blaming anybody for not knowing English in Agra, but it's hard. It was difficult, definitely difficult. So Nadeem Khan, he will come in for the 5th over, 31 for 2. Well, he's got a good economy. He's got a good economy, and this is a great start for Oman. But that is going to go through and will be a 4 for Taylor. And it'll be 69 runs from 94 balls. Good shot. American English is so different to UK/Aussie English. But the reason why Aussie English to UK English is different is because we shorten everything. And we speak in a lot of slang. Whilst English have their slang and whatnot. And it's difficult for people, especially non-English native speakers, to understand. Like, just, there's so much difference, though, between UK, Australia, and America. So much difference between them. In 1947, some French wanker made the line between Cambodia and Thailand that they are fighting over now. White people think they know everything in Asian countries. That is true, considering I've had a lot to do in Asia these last couple of years. They do, unfortunately. Oh, so that's really what they're still fighting about in Cambodia and Thailand. Next bowl. Oh, is that a catch? No. There was a catch chance there for Oman. That would have made things spicy, but it will be a dot ball. 69 from 93. Just be patient here. Don't go for a whack and smack. Just be patient. I originally was saying whack and smack because you're fine, but now it's like you need to be a bit patient. Nadeem, next bolt. Swing. Oh my gosh, is he out? They're claiming it. They might review this. They're really up for it, but I don't know if they are going to, actually. They were all adamant that was a wicket, but they didn't choose to review here, Oman. Brandon Taylor was the only player to have played in the first T20 edition. Can you believe it? Wow, only player. Fair enough. The first T20 edition. That's a cool little stat. Oh! No, he was safe. That was a great throw. We are seeing such unbelievable throws at the stumps nowadays. Like, the improvement on people throwing at the stumps has been really good to see. My mate was using Aussie slang in India. They're not going to understand Aussie slang in India. What do you mean by Aussie slang? Like, are you saying like shortening of words? Yeah, he was well safe, but what a throw regardless. In tourist Thailand, maybe in real Thailand, no mate. Chris said, just lots of bows and smiles and gentle hand gestures can get you through. Oh yeah, in the tourist sections. Yeah. Yes. In the tourist sections. 68 off 91. I think I'm in Zimbabwe in 2029 or 2030. Oh my gosh, Zimbabwe are making this look tough. Oman's bowling's good. 68 from 90. They're making it look tough right now. 5 overs, 4.53 on the required run rate. The required run rate is not bad. Mo says Zimbabwe might just bottle this. I don't think so. I think they're still going to be fine. The required run rate is 4.5. They just need to be patient. Originally, they were going with my plan of whack and smack, and they've realised pretty quickly that the 2 wickets, Oman shouldn't be discredited in their regards to their bowling. Despite the fact they don't have a bowler in the top 100, this has been really positive bowling. Really good stuff there from Sufyan, who also had pretty good batting. Yeah, shortening of words. Yeah, they're not going to get that. Next bowl. That will be a... Oh, dude, did they get a single or did they just keep that for a dot ball? This could be close here for a run out. You're not going to do it, Zimbabwe. You're not. You're not going to bottle this. You're not. And he is... Oh, he's safe. My gosh, they're making this interesting. I'll start thinking about a bottling when they lose 4 or 5. Mate, if you're watching what we're watching right now, you'd be thinking it's questionable how Zimbabwe operate in these last couple of overs. It's been really close to more than just these 2 wickets in these last couple of overs. Next bowl. And that will be a single. It ended up being a dot ball. Their throwing is incredible, Oman. They're going to check this to see again. I think he's safe on the run out again, but their throwing at the stumps is incredible. They're just landing it on the stumps every time. They're going to check this again. Look at the accuracy on the throw again. Again, he's safe, but wow. Lost 2 wickets, and now you're getting that sniff for Oman. 67 more runs from 88 balls. Chris says, Billy Connolly also has taught me that every single person in the world understands... Yeah, fuck off, if said with enough purpose, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I might have aimbot. They've got something going on here. Every single throw is just landed on the stumps. Oh, big swing, big miss. Dot ball. Could this be like the last T20 World Cup where Papua New Guinea were all out for 77 and Uganda were only chased with 10 balls left and won by 3 wickets? That's ridiculous. All out for 77 and nearly winning is disgraceful cricket. That would be disgraceful. This game has been all about the short ball from both these teams. Next one from Sufyan is 2 for 2 through 1.3. And they will get a single here. Watch the throw. He's hit it again! This is disgraceful how good this throwing is. They have aimbot on. Oman have aimbot. He's safe. But this is keeping them honest in regards to their running between the wicket. It's keeping them honest because it means you're not going to get easy singles because they will throw you out. They will throw you out if you are just a little bit slow to the punch. If you're just a little bit slow off the mark, they will run you out. So you can't take it lightly in regards to these singles. The throwing from Oman has been spectacular. I'm not surprised we had him in Oz as well. 66 runs from 86 balls. Taylor, 7 from 10. Bennett, 9 from 11. That'll be knocked for a single. At least they've made it exciting. This game didn't look like it was going to be exciting. At least they've made it a bit interesting. But Zimbabwe should win. They should. Otherwise, we blame Jacko for saying that he's not thinking about anything just yet. $39 for 2 through 5.5. 65 of 85. And that will be nice shot for a 4. Beautiful from Brian Bennett. He'll get to 13. Beautiful boundary and 61 from 84. And it will be a drinks break after 6 overs. So whilst it's, again, the 2 wickets isn't actually that bad. It's just the frequency of the wickets, and also in such a intriguing period is what made that a little bit nerve-wracking, especially with all those run-out chances and the swing and misses and the half shouts from the Omani bowling team. Like, it's been a really intriguing last 2 overs. Overall, Zimbabwe are still like $1.2 to win this game. They're still heavy favourites. They've got no worries in regards to the runs. I guess they've got a slight worry in regards to the wickets, but the runs are just nothing to be looking at. If Bennett went before they got to 60 runs, or Bennett went before they got to 50 runs, maybe they'd be starting to look at a problem. But for the time being, I do think it's calm. It's just that was a flurry of an over from Sufyan, who's been really good. And don't forget, guys, we'll be live for South Africa versus Canada in about an hour and a half time. South Africa versus Canada, the final game of the day. We'll see how the Saffers get on in their first opening matchup. And tomorrow we'll be live for Netherlands versus Namibia, New Zealand versus the UAE, and then also Pakistan versus the USA. That's the game I'm looking for tomorrow. I think New Zealand will get a clean win over UAE. I think Netherlands should get a good win over Namibia in New Delhi. And Pakistan-USA is interesting if USA can compete to the level they did the other night. And I just hope that Ali Khan is not injured, because we saw he wasn't able to finish off his bowling spell in that game, which might have actually been, they might have had ability to win if he had been able to play it and not give up all those runs to Surya Kamiyadav late on. So if America are healthy, Pakistan already nearly lost to the Netherlands. If America are healthy, there is a sneaky little shout. Shake it all about. Would be a result. Would be big. Would be big. And it would be great to slap down a certain Pakistani fan on this channel. Chris, my second team is Millwall, so I don't care. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry. Okay, so 4.36 runs per over is required for Zimbabwe. 61 runs from 84 balls. Taylor will be on strike, and Nadeem Khan will have his second over. He only gave up 5 runs in his first. Does anyone give either the UAE or Namibia a chance tomorrow? Maybe I'd give Namibia a chance against the Netherlands, because I don't think the Netherlands are going to be consistent. But based off of their result against Pakistan, based off of, you know, their ranking, like where are Netherlands ranked? Netherlands are ranked in 13th, whilst Namibia are actually ranked 14th. So maybe Namibia have a chance there. Maybe. Namibia are actually ranked above Scotland and USA and Canada. I'm actually surprised Papua New Guinea made that World Cup a couple of years back. I do know they love cricket in Papua New Guinea. It's actually a bigger sport than people know. Rugby league is always their die-hard, passionate, 100% sport, but they do love cricket in Papua New Guinea. So next bowl here from Nadeem Khan will be a dot ball. I'll give Namibia a chance. Well, they're the same. They're just one ranking below the Netherlands. I don't think Netherlands will be consistent, but I'll still back them in to win. So they're going to call for 2 here, but they'll only get a single, and I wouldn't be running any more than you 100% guaranteed know that you can, because they will throw you out. 43 for 2 in the first 6 overs. They probably, I think Oman in the first 6 overs were like 4 down for maybe 23. through 6 overs. That will be a double. Millwall are 1 point off the top 3, aren't they? I have no idea how that championship is going. Championship table. Coventry in first on 59. Middlesbrough in second on 58. Wow, that's a close battle up there. Ipswich Town is in third on 54. Hull City's in fourth on 54. And then Millwall's in fifth on 53. So they're actually only 1 point away from the top 3. They're only 5 points away from an automatic promotion spot. Wrexham are in a playoff battle. 6th spot on 47. And they will get 2. 46 for 2. Big swing. That will go through for a 4. Good shot from Brian Bennett. Good shot. It'll be 50 for 2. And that is 50 up for the Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Netherlands should win, though. They've been more competitive against test teams. Well, test has nothing to do with it, but sure. And have gotten more upset wins, such as beating England twice and beating South Africa. No, I'm backing in Netherlands, but they are close in the rankings. So win predictor has Oman at 5%, Zimbabwe 95%. All they've got to do is get another 52 runs here. 53 runs. 52 runs for the super over. That's what we're aiming for. I reckon that's what you've got to be aiming for right now. The speed on the bowls are about 98.1. That was a beautiful 4 from Bennett. Now they should just romp home here. A little nervy spell, but outside of that, there's no bottling here. There's no way. Jacko's the Messiah. He just saw something we could never see, and that was Zimbabwe being able to finish off a 103 trace. He just saw something, Jacko. He's like the Messiah. 53 from 78. Wasim will come in for his first bowl. As per usual, you'll see the Zimbabweans dancing in the crowd. That is definitely something that we know from Zimbabwe. They love a good dance. They love a good party. Next bowl from Wasim will be a single for Bennett. You'll get to 21. 52 for 2. The only way that Oman have a chance here is if they stop Bennett now. Wasim Ali, strike rate 28.75, economy of 5.48. His best was 2 for 20, 4 wickets in 15 matches. Bit of spin here, slow it down, and they'll get another single. Yeah, the last 3 games that Zimbabwe have faced Sri Lanka, they've won 2. Zimbabwe are not a bad shout to get past the group stage. I don't have you beating Australia. I don't. But if you can beat Sri Lanka, you do go through because you're going to, well, you'd have to beat Ireland. But I think you do beat Ireland. As long as you clean up that opening early part of the batting. I feel like Zimbabwe's not a bad shout to go through the group stage here. 2 out of their last 3 games against Sri Lanka they've beaten, and that's the big team they've got to beat. And if they can win this one pretty quickly for the run rate, the net run rate will be massive. Even if they lost that game to Ireland but beat Sri Lanka, you know, it's on. Love the West Indies dancing. No, African dancing is what gets me going. I loved it when I was in the crowd in the Rugby Sevens and I was sitting with the Kenyans. The Kenyans, they loved it. That's where I get the Zimbabwe song from. Oh Kenya, oh Kenya, oh Kenya, ooh, ooh, ooh. Such a catchy tune when they're all singing together and they're all bouncing up and down. So catchy. They're still showing that screamer of the catch. The Africans, when they're supporting their sporting teams, I'd love to get to an AFCON one day. They're really passionate about it. Well, if Bennett goes, Razra's next, so it doesn't get easy from Oman. Zimbabwe have got this win, man. Like it's a win for Zimbabwe. It just depends on when they get it, how much they win by. Raza will be sweet, unless you listen to the English in this chat. That'll be a single there for Bennett if you're on 23. It's 48 and 72. I just think that because Zimbabwe will need to beat Sri Lanka, if they beat Sri Lanka, they're not guaranteed yet. Because wait, hold on, what's their next game? I think their next game's Australia. Zimbabwe cricket, because Ireland are pretty much done. They're not. They lost to Sri Lanka. They're not going to beat Australia. You would assume. Don't need English opinions on that. So Zimbabwe play Australia, then they play Ireland, then they play Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is their final game on February the 19th, so next Thursday. So they would need... What they would need... Like Australia's going through, so what they would need is... Well, they would love Ireland to beat Sri Lanka. Oh, sorry, Ireland already lost to Sri Lanka. They would just need... As long as they win that Sri Lanka game and don't lose by much in the Ireland game, they have a good chance of progressing. Realistically, the only way through is to win against Sri Lanka, but that will be one of the last games of the group stage, and Sri Lanka will obviously be fighting hard for it. The Vuvu Trumpet destroyed so many games. Oh, the Vuvuzela. Yeah, the Vuvuzela was annoying. With that being said, it was a fantastic World Cup, that South Africa. That was an awesome World Cup. It's just the Vuvuzelas. That was where we got Waka Waka from. Waka Waka, and also waving flag, waving flag. See, they're dancing again, the Zimbabweans. Look at them. They're dancing in the crowd. They're having fun. We love it. Get the dancing going, eh? I'm a deep countryside in Middle Earth. Don't even get the street lights. Never mind a combustion engine. Yeah, we know England's a bit behind the times. That'll be a single for Bennett. He'll be on 25. If you ever have a park barbecue, make sure you get in before the Zimbabweans because they hog the barbecue for hours and cook some real weird meats. Is there like a lot of Zimbabweans in Australia? Is there a lot of them there? 45 runs needed, 69 balls left. I don't know. Not in... Maybe in southeast Queensland there'd be some in maybe Logan. But I don't think... Like, we have a lot of Sudanese in Victoria. And... Do we have... I don't think we have a great deal of an African contingent in a lot of Australia. What are they're dancing again. Biggest African country contingents in Australia. That will be a single for Bennett. It'll be on 26. And it's 61 for 2. Based on recent migration, so South Africa, obviously. Egypt is consistently ranked among the top 2. Zimbabwe, significant source of migrants with large communities in Perth. Okay, you're from Perth. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So that's why Perth and Sydney, but yeah, mainly Perth. Sudan, South Sudan is Melbourne and Sydney, but mainly Melbourne. And then Mauritius, a major source of migrants. Fair enough. Kenya's growing in Perth and Melbourne. Nigeria, sort of. Oh, that's gone through for a 4 for Taylor. He'll be on 17. 9 off of the over, 39 from 66 needed. Ethiopia and Somalia, major source of humanitarian with high concentrations in Melbourne. The majority of African-born residents in Australia live in Victoria, specifically Melbourne and Sydney, followed by Western Australia, Perth. So that's why, from my perspective, I'm from the Gold Coast. So we don't have a great deal of that on the Gold Coast. We have like a lot of Kiwis, Samoans, and whatnot there. So it says big Zim and South African population in Perth. Yeah, we have a few Saffers in the Goldie. We have a few Saffers there. Krakens, I've heard they have a thing in Oman where they cook meat by burying it underground for hours. A lot of countries have this. In Fiji, it's called a lovo. In Vietnam, they have something here like that too. But yeah, no, that's a pretty normal thing for a lot of countries. Oh, wow, that ball really turned in the air from Wasim. It's going to be a single. But you see that? The spin in the air was wild. My old neighbour is from Mauritius. I guess we missed out being on the Gold Coast because there isn't too much of migration there. It's more so Like if they come to Queensland, it's more around that Logan area and South Brisbane area. Outside of that, you'd get, your Sydney, your Melbourne, and it's a good sweep there, but it's supposed to be a single, 67 for 2. Your Melbourne, your Sydney, and now obviously your Perth, because Perth is the closest. That's why I understand Perth, because Perth is the closest for, say, India or Africa or the Middle East. Yeah, that arm ball just really spins a lot in the air. I do know a couple of Kenyans. And that will be a single, 68 for 2. Yeah, I'd say the only real African contingent we have on the Gold Coast would be South African. So Taylor on 18 from 19, Bennett from 28 from 25. And that'll be a dot ball. The Perth Zims are alright. The ones I know, just want to clarify, Zims is okay to say, yeah? That's just a shortened version of Zimbabwe. Just want to clarify, I'm not too sure. The ones I know are hardcore churchy. I love that. They're not bad people, but they never clean the barbecue. Well, a lot of Aussies don't clean the barbecue for damn well say, to be fair. That'll be a single. I don't think I've actually ever used one of those like public park barbecues. Maybe when I was younger, my dad did, very occasionally. I don't think we really did. But they never cleaned the barbecue. It's hilarious. 9.50 is down. Oman's next game will be Sri Lanka in Balakele. They're saying as we get deeper into the tournament, the conditions will change here in Sri Lanka. Changes will massively come into play, apparently. So end of the 10th over, it's 70 for 2. 34 runs needed from 60 balls left. Zim is cool. Okay. Yeah, I won't even say it then. Yeah, I guess it'll. That's why I asked first. Bennett on 29 from 26, 90 from 21. At least we've gotten 10 overs in. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, guys. We have another game tonight in an hour's time, which is South Africa taking on Canada. Just 34 required. Very impressive start here for Zimbabwe. The next game will be against... Is it Australia? Yeah, it is Australia on Thursday. No, Friday. Unfortunately, it's the one game for Australia I'm not able to stream. We will be here for Ireland, Zimbabwe. We'll be here for Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe. It's just that one game, Australia, Zimbabwe, which is on during the Titans. There's 2 rugby league games on that day, so I have to do that. But I will keep an eye on it. So if you are watching, you can still shoot through comments and whatnot during that rugby league stream. Next ball. And they'll sneak that in behind. We'll go back for a 4. Yes, it will. Brian Bennett will get the boundary, and it's 33 runs for Brian Bennett through 28 balls. 30 runs off 58. I'd like to see them go for a bit of a slap and whack just to get this convincing victory underway. Win it by the 13th over. Say sayonara. And move on to your big test of Australia on Friday. Australia will have played Ireland on Wednesday. Definitely be here for this stream on Wednesday. It'll be a big one. Wednesday's a great day. South Africa versus Afghanistan. Australia. Oh, that's going to go through for another 4 here. Beautiful shot from Brian Bennett. Another 4. 37. It's 26 from 57 now. That net run rate. This is going to be good for them. If they can punch him out now, this is going to be good for their net run rate. Yeah, Wednesday, England, West Indies, South Africa, Afghanistan, Australia, Ireland. What a day of cricket. And we're not going to be bored at any time of that day. But also, we haven't been bored at any time of this day. They've all had their own little things about their games. You just have to respect which and understand which teams you're watching. Yeah, start slogging. You got 8 wickets in hand. You only need 25 more runs. Just smash that net run rate in, because it may come into play if you can beat Sri Lanka, and if you did maybe slip up against Ireland, it would come into play. We don't have to worry about Ireland taking any catches, no. That will be a single for Taylor, who gets a 20, maybe 2 actually. No, they will get 2. If I remember correctly, if Afghanistan and Australia get into the final, it's going to be painful for myself. Why? Why would Afghanistan and Australia in the final be painful for yourself? I don't know if that can happen, though, because I think Australia would play Afghanistan in the semis. Oh, that will be chopped out the back there for a 4. They are pushing the pace. Zimbabwe on target for a big win here. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 runs off the over. Yeah, gap between games won't be too bad. Kick back, have a little bit of a doom scroll, go to the bathroom, have a bit of a stretch, do some weights, fly to Zimbabwe, go for a dance and have a barbecue, and then jump on back, and you'll be right for the South African Canada game. Ooh, something to you. Good song. Couple of 6s here, does it in. 2.11 runs per over. Is anyone scared? Has there ever been a collapse of that standard? With like 9 overs to go, you only need like 20 runs, and you've got, say, 8 wickets. Has there ever been in professional cricket? Has there ever been a collapse of that standard? So 19 runs needed off of 54 balls. Ended this over. Just send the Zimbabweans into a frenzy. Get 3 6s and then do them in with a wide. First ball ends up as a single. England versus India, 5th test, couldn't hit 30 runs. Really? England versus India, 5th test, couldn't hit 30 runs. I'm going to go have a look at this. England, India test. Hold on, okay. So England won by 5 wickets with 84 balls left. And that will be a dot ball. If I remember, Zimbabwe once defended 99 runs against Pakistan. That's ridiculous. Is that recent? Or is that, you said once, so I'm assuming it's probably a while ago. That is wild. The 5th test, England ended up getting a 6 to finish it up, with Jamie Smith hitting a 6 against Ravindra Jadeja. Yeah, 5th test, I'm looking at that. Their final over in the 5th test was a 6, a 4, and a 2. 12, 16, 18 runs off of the final over. $18 off of 52. Swing. Dot ball. I'm going to Google this. Is Zimbabwe defend 99 runs? Maybe West Indies versus Zimbabwe. This is the first one that comes up here. Oh, no, don't worry. That's not a game you want to remember. No, don't worry. Ignore that. Ignore that, Zimbabwe fans. That's not a game you want to remember. It was just the first game that came up, and I thought, okay, maybe this is the one. But, oh, yikes. That's a yikes. That is going to be a single for Taylor, and he'll be on 17 from 50. No, that game, Zimbabwe got all out for 63 in a test match. Where were we? Defend 99 runs. Maybe I'll type in Pakistan. Oh, no, that's Pakistan. 1 by 91 runs. Yeah, I'm not too sure. You would know what happened. I just can't seem to find it. So only 17 runs needed here, guys. This game will be done in about 10 minutes. Then we'll have a good hour break before the final game of the day. That will be a single for Bennett. You'll get to 40. 16 off of 49. Brian Bennett's just been so comfortable, and so has Taylor. This net run rate is going to be so good. They just need to beat Sri Lanka, which they have done 2 out of the last 3 times. What a random angle. They're showing us an angle of the game right now through through the lights or something. I don't know what that was. They've called 2. Will they go for 2? Yeah, they should go for 2. No, they will only get single. 15 off of 48. Get Bennett the 50. Well, he needs 10 runs. I reckon he gets it. Yeah, George Munsey, they're showing highlights of him today. George Munsey was incredible for Scotland. India won the 5th Test Oval. Oh, you're talking about... 5th Test Oval 2025. Brooke and Root both were at 100. Then the entire team collapsed and failed to score 30 runs. 2025? Hold on. 2025, India played England in India. No? Wasn't that in India? Oh, no, it wasn't the Oval. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Sorry, my brain, again, I've been streaming for a long time here, bro. Forget me. What game did I click on? I clicked on a whole different game. I must have clicked on Test 1. I think I clicked on the first test, bro. That's my bad. That's my bad. I think I clicked on Test 1, which is what did me in. Yeah, I did. I clicked on the first test, not the 5th test. First test, England killed it. The 5th test, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, wow, that is real slow. They did get a 6 in this from Gus Atkinson. I was a dropped 6. They'll get a single here, Bennett. It'll be on 41. 13 off 46. It was such a weird angle, Potato Dragon. It made no sense why they were doing it. So, Right Hand TV, you've retracted your message. There's no point to retracting your message. I've already read it. You can just leave it there, man. Even if it was wrong, you can just leave it there, even though you've already retracted it. 13 off 46. Now it's 12 off of 45. Could have got 2 if they pushed it. Yeah, they will actually run back for 2. Oh, that was so lethargic, but they will get back for 2 there. So it will be 11 off of 45. So England choke, surprise, surprise. It's not surprising there, Sean. Not very surprising. I'll tell you if I'm thinking I'm surprised with an England choke, I'm going to say no. Gonna go no. Taylor is having problems with his right leg at the moment. God bless him. Yeah, the misfield, you can see that Taylor is not liking his right leg at the moment. 11 balls off 45. 11 runs off 45. And look at him run. He's not running well right now, Taylor. Something's happened here. 10 off of 44. Maybe as he's turned around. No, as he's running. Oh, shot. That's a 4. That is a 4. And it's 6 off of 43 now needed for Zimbabwe. 98 from 2. They only need 6 more runs. You know, Jacko, I didn't actually know what you were talking about before in regards to Shaquille being a unit. I now know what you're referring to. I wasn't actually even focusing on that or noticing that whatsoever. And on that bowl just then, I realised exactly what you're talking about. So, Taylor, I think, is coming off the field here. Yeah. Taylor is walking off the field. He's retired hurt. Brendan Taylor has had to retire hurt here, unfortunately, even though there's only 6 runs needed. There's only 5 more runs for Bennett to get to the Fetty bomb, but Raza comes in, and he's going to have, well, the last ball of this over. Oh, no, sorry, Bennett's going to have the last ball of this over. Look, it's the right call, Brendan Taylor. The win is going to happen. They are going to get it. You do want it to be more safe. The guy's something. Yeah, I didn't realise what you're talking about until I saw that bowl just then. Sikandar Raza is ranked number 60 on the batting. He's not going to need to do too much here, though. Going to go for 2, so he's going to be off strike for the over. He's going to be on 47 here. So 4 to win. They're on 100 for 2. They do get past the 100 in 13 overs. And they've got 7 overs to try and get 4 runs. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight. Very tight. And then in 50 minutes' time, South Africa versus Canada. It's actually been quite an easy day. It's been quite an easy day. Smith says, are they intentionally stacking all the weak games at the start of the tournament? Well, probably. Probably, because you're going to get the most viewership from the early point because people will all still be heavily invested. Well, to be fair, you've still got Australia versus Oman as the final game of the group stage. Next bolt. And Raza will smack that into cover. That's just going to be it's actually going to be 2 runs there. They will get 2 out of that. So unfortunately... Oh, no, they will only get a single. Okay, Bennett, come on, get a forward, hit the feedy bomb. Zimbabwe should win. It'll be close. Chris says, I bet Zimbabwe will win from here. Well, if Harrison said that, I would have had doubts. But, Chris, you saying that, I'm okay with it. Next bolt. Swing will be a single. So he's probably going to end up here, Bennett, on 48. 2 runs needed from 40 balls left. Brian Bennett, 48 not out. Damn it, he's not going to get his fitty bomb. It's unselfish, though. Karan. That will be clobbered. And that, my friends, is a 4 to end the game for Zimbabwe. Raza gets a boundary. Zimbabwe win by 8 wickets, which will be massive for their net run rate. They absolutely crush Oman here. Oman all out for 103. And Zimbabwe chased that down with over 40 balls remaining. It was just too easy for them. Fantastic performance from Brian Bennett with the batting. Tadawanashi Maramani at least got 21. Unfortunate for Myers with the duck, but Brendan Taylor had to retire hurt with 31. And just too easy. Get in there, Zimbabwe. Moses says, it was good stuff. So, guys, we're going to be back in about 1 hour's time, 55 minutes' time, to start the stream for South Africa versus Canada. So I hope you have enjoyed this stream, and I hope you are enjoying the day. 1 more game to go here today. We'll also be live for all 3 tomorrow. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. The Zimbabweans are dancing in the crowd right now, and they are chirping. All right, guys, I'll see you in about an hour's time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.